Trying to do your work in your class and everyone's talking about your goal, right?
I know. But I tell you what, though, lads, it must be a nightmare to mark in the playground. You know what I mean?
Yes. Get the bags down, get the blazers down for goals.
Oh, aye. You must keep the ball for about 15 minutes.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Okay, very good morning to everybody out there. It is Tuesday the 17th of March and it is 4 minutes past 6. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Rewards event. Save up to £500 on thousands of cars. Now to kick things off, I'm going to say a very good morning to my sidekick this morning, Gabby Agbonlahor. Gabby, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Alistair. How are we, my friend?
Well, I'm fine, mate. I had one or two travel problems last night. I spoke to you. And I missed my 5 o'clock flight.
Yeah.
And there was no seats on the 8:30, but I hung about to see if there was any no-shows. But sadly, mate, I had to come back home from the airport, mate, and I left you down here to eat your dinner yourself.
National Express coach not available, Coisty. You know what I did, Ali? I literally walked out the hotel. I walked past many restaurants in Borough Market. I walked into one, she says, the kitchen's closed. I carried on walking, Ali. Finally, I found somewhere with a spare seat. It was a Japanese, Chinese,
Well,
bit of a walk down to London Bridge, and I sat there on my own, Alistair. Everyone's staring at me. He looks dodgy. Biddy no mates.
May I say, from the pictures I received, the quality of the food looked alright.
Oh, the food was good. The food was good, Ali. The game was on my phone in front of me. To be honest, I was happy.
That's the only thing. I watched it on my phone as well.
Yeah.
So you can take this as a public apology, mate.
It's okay, mate.
I
Ali,
apologise. Yes.
if I was trying to date you, mate, I'll take the hint.
Well, listen, we've got a bit of something happened yesterday we didn't expect.
I know.
So we need to address some news that's been floating around the social media since yesterday's breakfast show, when we were joined by Max Diamond's former academy coach at Arsenal, Temison Williams. On the show, he was full of praise for the youngsters' rise through the ranks.
Definitely, I should say that it's a fantastic, of course, an incredible thing that Max has done. It's brilliant for his family, for, of course, the academy, the club, fans. And it's always a bit of a surprise because the journey can have so many ups and downs, as both of you know. Yeah. So being able to see what's happening with Max now is just brilliant. And he should, of course, just enjoy that moment, which I know he did.
Right, so since he's come on, Max's dad's taken the social media platform X to take issue with Temison's credibility. If you're watching us on YouTube or your smart TV, you'll be able to see the tweets. But if you're listening, just here's, I'll read a couple of here's what it says. Claiming he was any part of Max's journey is really sad piece of attempted self-promotion. I've asked him previously to refrain from doing so. I remember him putting the cones out at training a few times, but that's about it. We have so many fabulous coaches who are so grateful to, but sadly he's not one of them. Temison's claimed that he's since apologised to the Dowman family and wishes them nothing but success. I mean, what's the bottom line here? Do you think he's been putting a couple of cones out and that's it?
But Ali, what I would say is that when we spoke to him, he didn't say that like, oh yes, I made him dribble past players. I was doing one-to-one with him. I was staying after training and helping him. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really say anything that like he was the main reason.
He was very complimentary.
Yeah, exactly. He just really come on to praise him, didn't he? So I don't see like what the big problem is. But yeah, I think we leave it as that.
He's obviously annoyed Max's dad, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know, but is it a bit petty coming out and, you know, calling him out? It's not the end of the world. He hasn't come out and says, I scouted him, I made him the best player he is. It's down to me that he's got into the Arsenal first team at 16. Come on, relax.
No, I've not got it doing as
very touchy parents.
I've not got it doing as groundbreaking news.
Exactly.
Right, we turn attention to last night when Brentford's European hopes were dented by a spirited Wolves side. They certainly were. Despite taking a 2-goal lead, Brentford left the Getch with the points shared. One man who has taken the B spotlight. By the way, what a run he's on. I think he's only second behind Haaland with a goal.
Yes.
Striker Igor Thiago, who has recently received his call-up for the Brazil squad. I think it was yesterday.
Yes.
Call-up. Here's what manager Keith Andrews had to say about him.
Really proud. I think it's huge for Thiago. He's strived for a long time. It's a huge ambition for him to represent this country. It's been a huge driving force in his career and his life. I think we've played a little part in that. I think everybody to do with the club has played a little part in that. The players, all the staff really want this for him, and it'll be a special moment when he pulls on that jersey.
He's been brilliant, Gabby. Honestly, I've watched him a good few times this season, mate. Runs through, powerful, can finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was talk, wasn't there, Ali, that because he's at Brentford, he might not get the call up to Brazil. Yeah. That was the talk, maybe in Brazilian media. But I'm happy for him being called up because scoring 19 Premier League goals with 8 games to go, he could easily catch Haaland, the form that Haaland's in at the moment. So I think he's only 3 behind Haaland, 19, and Haaland's 22. But yeah, he's been fantastic. But I don't know, Ali, as a bigger club, when you look at him, do you want to see 2 seasons in a row rather than 1 season before you put in a big bid?
I know, but then you run the risk. I agree with you. In an ideal world, I'm not saying it's easy to do 1 season. That's clearly not easy, but it's harder to do 2 in a row.
Exactly.
And then you get a better idea. Having said that, you would maybe run the risk of losing him if you don't go for him early. Do you know what I mean? But I definitely think he's been
fantastic. Yes.
Different class.
So was Coyote, who scored the first goal, Ali.
Listen,
I think he's been fantastic at right back.
Long throws aside, but he's different class at them. I thought different. I mean, tremendous. I thought the first goal was brilliant. I mean, I was listening, obviously watching, but I was listening to Danny Murphy as well. Danny was brilliant on the co-coms last night with talkSPORT boys. So,
I think it was Lewis Potter, wasn't it? We whipped it in. Great cross.
What a ball.
Yeah, but
I mean, what a ball.
But Ali, you have to give praise to Wolves, because after the first 2 goals, I'm thinking this could be 4 or 5. But then Armstrong scored a great goal, great finish.
That was a tremendous touch across, wasn't it?
Exactly, great technique. And
then
then
to be
Wolves,
fair to me, hits the post as well.
Yeah, Wolves were the better side.
Yeah.
You know, Arakadare scores that goal, and then in the last few minutes hits the bar with a header. Wolves look like...
Yeah.
Ali, it's like they woke up one day and thought, we're going to get relegated, but let's make everyone else's season fall apart. You know, we're going to take points off Arsenal, we're going to beat Villa, we're going to stop Brentford.
Beat Liverpool.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's amazing, actually, the turnaround they've had.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's if they've woke up and they look at the table and said, no, it might be too late, but we need to have a wee go here.
But I did say this to a West Ham fan, a cab driver, Ali, about 3 weeks ago. He was saying to me, yeah, you know what, Gabby, we look at the Wolves game as a 3 points, and I said, don't be looking at Wolves and thinking, like, that's a guaranteed put in 3 points now. Spurs have got to go to Molineux.
I know.
Don't be surprised if they lose there. Like, when you've got nothing to lose, Ali, and you're already relegated more or less, the pressure's off.
It's amazing, Gab, because I think we had Connor Cody on.
Yes.
And I was talking to him because I said that I think they've got a lovely midfield. They can all play. I mean, the 2 Gomez's, Andre Bellegard, all these boys in the middle of the park. Different class, good touch on the ball.
Good player as well.
And that's exactly what he was saying. He said they're lovely footballers. I mean, I saw them against Liverpool. They knocked the ball. Obviously, Liverpool's the most possession in the football, but they played really well, mate.
Exactly.
Really, really well. What about Brentford? Missed opportunity to go a point behind Chelsea, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, just frustrating for them. And sometimes, Ali, when you hear about all the media attention of, if you win this game, you're on for maybe top 5, and you can catch Aston Villa, you can catch Chelsea and Liverpool. That brings added pressure, and that showed yesterday with Brentford, because they had the chance 2-0 up and then took the foot off the gas, and Wolves were the better side in the second half and should have won it.
Well, be fair to them, if the third goal goes in, it probably kills it. Remember Thiago's header was off the bar?
Yeah, got to score, hasn't he?
Yeah, the big chance. If that gets in, it's a heck of a journey back for Wolves. But I mean, they still had a great season. Keith Andrews doing a brilliant job there, Gav. I've got to say.
Oh, outstanding. And when you watched him as well, and the players that he's got available, I mean, he's bringing Reece Nelson on.
Yeah.
With 10 minutes to go. Totally
chance.
Forgot about him, Ali.
I know, so did I, mate. And then what a chance at the back post.
Got to score, mate. That's one of those when you're scared to head it, Ali.
Did it come off his shoulder a wee bit?
You know when you're younger, Ali, and
the old tortoise neck.
Yeah.
The old tortoise.
I've got to head it. Oh, no, off my shoulder, wide.
All right, listen, quick one. Would you take Thiago at the Villa with Watkins?
The only problem I've got is it's one season.
Yeah, I know.
I like him. I think he's strong. He's quick in behind. He can hold the ball up. But what's he like second season, Ali? Do you come at this time next season, you're like, whoa, okay, he's only scored 2 or 3 goals and it hasn't really worked for him. So I think if I was a coach of a top 7 side now, top 6 side, I'd maybe wait and see. Plus, he signed a new deal recently as well at Brentford.
He did.
So maybe, you don't know if that's got a clause in it, but what if he does want the World Cup?
Do you know something, Gab? See, I'm thinking it from his point of view. He maybe says to himself, I'm just saying a new deal, maybe fancy another 18 months here.
He's only young.
Aye, exactly.
And as well, Ali, playing for Brentford has got you into the Brazilian squad.
Correct.
You go in these two games now that Brazil have got, you go and score. There's no rush to move. You have a good World Cup, you stay at Brentford for another season, and then you get that big move.
They've got some good forwards, I think about it. Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, Martinelli, Cunha, João Pedro.
I felt sorry for Neymar though, Ali, when I seen the squad and he's not in it, because you know it's his last World Cup.
I know.
And Ancelotti's probably thinking, like, I'm the main guy now. There's no Neymar that runs the Brazilian squad. If you're not at it for Santos and putting in top displays, you're not in. And they've got so many options, you can't blame him.
No, correct. I think Ancelotti's probably a little bit like Thomas Tuchel, Gab, in the respect that they're not from the nation that they're coaching and managing. So maybe it doesn't. I don't mean it doesn't matter to them, but it probably matters less the effect it'll have. Not taking players that a lot of people would expect them to take. Do you know what I mean?
And when you got Rafinha and you got Vinicius Junior, João Pedro, Cunha playing in the top leagues, and no offence to the Brazilian league, He's gone over there. He's not been in outstanding form. Before that, Ali, where was it? Was it Saudi Arabia?
Yep.
So you can't really blame Ancelotti. If he's not seeing outstanding performances, then he's got every right to leave him out.
Absolutely, mate. Okay, we're going to move on. Coming up, how long will Chelsea have to make do without their captain? More on that next.
Obviously, in the week, the Atletico Madrid disaster with Kinski. We have such a goalkeeping problem at our club, Natalie. You know, if you look at the free kick today, which is savable for me, and apparently the stat is, and I don't know how correct it is, but 68% of our goals have come from a Vicario mistake. Now, that alone is why we're in a relegation battle. Forget everything else. And I can't imagine how difficult it is, Pards, to have a number one that your team don't trust in. You know, how difficult is that for a team? And does that sap you full of confidence? You know, we look at those boys and they're void of confidence when they're seeing the mistake after mistake from, you know, their number one, even the guy that comes in. It can't help, can it?
No, it doesn't help. And, you know, after that awful game in Madrid, when obviously Kinski made the errors and then gets substituted, and obviously the media made a big thing about Tudor not acknowledging him as he walked off, and then the goalie, the first team goalie, comes back in today. Again, you got to say that he's at fault for the goal. It's not a great situation, particularly for the defence, to have a goalie that's, you know, on edge. So I should think the result will have boosted him, because obviously he hasn't contributed to a defeat. So I think what you'd find is hopefully that the team will rally round that goalie tonight, Vicario.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
He's got a good voice, that lad.
Yes.
You know, if you got it, you've no idea. Come on, let's be honest.
Ted?
No, unlucky. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally Gabby this morning. About a Hosier there who is actually an Irishman.
Close.
And was born on St Patrick's Day, which is of course today.
Yes.
And it's a happy 36th birthday to Hosier. He had a brilliant song. I can't remember the name yet. But his last one was absolutely tremendous.
What was it called, Ali? It's brilliant. What was it called?
I know, I can't remember. And move, by the way, see the amount of messages I got yesterday with you playing Keep It Up with me yesterday.
Oh.
It was hilarious, man. My phone, see at 10 o'clock, my phone, there was smoke coming out of my phone, mate. What a message.
The film's got another 250,000 views,
it has. You've done me a massive favour. What about Eddie Jones saying he was going to watch it?
No. Wow.
Okay, mate, we're going to move swiftly on again and take a look at the back pages.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
And Olivia's with us. Good morning, Olivia. How are you this morning?
Olivia.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. What's your news? Give me your news.
Good. I mean, it's all Chelsea. And
there's a surprise.
I would say neither. Well, I say neither. All three of the stories aren't particularly great. But we will start with, on the back page of The Telegraph, Chelsea fined over secret 47 million Abramovich-era payments. So just for some context, so they've been fined 10.75 million and hit with a suspended transfer ban by the Premier League after making nearly 50 million in secret payments during the Roman Abramovich era. They've also been banned from signing academy players for 9 months, but have escaped a points deduction and any other sanctions. Basically, it was paying 23 million to 7 unregistered agents for the signings of players including Eden Hazard, David Luiz, Ramirez, Willian, Samuel Eto'o. But I think the reason why Chelsea have gotten away with such what feels like a lenient punishment is because when the Clear Lake Capital Todd Bowley consortium came in, they obviously went to UEFA, the Premier League, the FA, and reported what they found. So I think that's why. And people were comparing it to Everton, but Everton breached the Premier League's rules for spending and losses. So they are completely different things. Cases. So that's why the punishment isn't going to be the same. They are completely different. But it does feel a bit lenient.
Finding Chelsea 10 million is like finding us £1, Ali, maybe less.
Oh, man.
Like...
I can't believe it. I'm catching up now. They made 36 separate payments of just about 48 million to 12 individuals.
Must be nice.
That's four. Unless my maths is completely gone bonkers, that's £4 million a payoff. Yeah. Certainly on average.
Yes.
I mean, what is going on?
This is what happens, Ali, though. This is what happens behind the scenes.
So, effectively, what Chelsea have done is they've reported it themselves.
Yeah, the new ownership have reported it themselves to UEFA, to the Premier League, to the FA.
Right, and do you think that's one of the reasons they've been shown?
I think that's the main reason that that's why they've gotten off without a points deduction or a bigger fine or whatever, because or like an actual transfer ban.
I wouldn't expect it to be a point deduction for that.
Yeah. I don't really know what's like the right punishment for something like that. But anyway, that's happened. But the news that has saddened me the most is I am Reece James' biggest fan, right? I talk about Reece James. I think he's the best right back in the Premier League by some distance. I think he's arguably the best right back in world football. Maybe Hakimi, you'd probably say, is up there on a level with him. And actually, he's been fit for 2 years. And he's picked up a hamstring injury. And on the back page of the Times, saying that James is a doubt for the World Cup. Now, this is an injury, right, that Reece James has had. So he's made 36 appearances this season, which has been the most for about 5 years. He made 32 last season when Enzo Maresca was managing his minutes. This is a hamstring injury. He had 2 hamstring injuries in 24-25, kept him out for 25 games. In 23-24, he had another hamstring injury. It kept him out for 10 games. Then had surgery on it, kept him out for another 31. So this is like a reoccurring injury. Yeah. That's why I think people are saying he's a doubt for the World Cup, because it's not an injury that's just a one-off and you could be out.
Well, but let's hope, though, that it isn't a long-term injury, because hamstrings, I used to have hamstring problems. I remember once I had one that cost me my first England call-up. I was called up for the squad and then tore it, Ali. Felt like someone had, shot me, Ali. I was like, oh. But to get surgery on a hamstring injury is when it's really bad.
But he's had that. So he's had that. And then after the surgery, he's had a couple more hamstring injuries, and now he's picked. And it's just so frustrating because it was the first time that we were looking at him going, he's been fit for a couple of years. He's got back to the levels that I didn't actually think we would ever see from Reece James again because of the injury issues. And
does it say, Olivia, whether it's, you've obviously mentioned that it probably is, it's obviously the same leg in the same area of the hamstring?
It doesn't say which area of the leg, or if it's the same hamstring he had surgery on. It doesn't actually confirm or deny that, so we don't actually know.
The only hope is,
I think they just need to have a further scan, basically. The only
hope is that 2 games before international break now, then Chelsea's next game is 5 weeks from now, nearly 5 weeks from now.
Do you know,
against City.
I'm not. It sounds ridiculous because obviously Reece James is Chelsea's best player, has been this season, and we know the levels he's at. I'm more annoyed for England.
Yeah.
Because England, like I said a second ago, Reece James is by far and away England's best right back. I love Tino Livramento. I think he's brilliant, and I think he'd be a brilliant backup for Reece James because he can also play on the left.
Agreed.
But if we don't have Reece James for the World Cup, I think it's such a huge loss to England, to Thomas Tuchel, and we don't have an adequate replacement, Gabby.
No, I totally agree. I mean, if you're Trent now, you're looking and thinking, oh, will I get called up in the next international break? The squad gets announced on Friday. Maybe Trent gets in, but you've got Spence, you've got Livramento. So
who do you think then? If obviously Reece James isn't going to get, he's out of this.
I would take Trent now.
So you take Trent and Livramento for this next squad.
I would do, yes, definitely. But what I would say with Reece James as well is them hamstring problems that you says. Does Thomas Tuchel look at that in the next couple of months and be like,
no,
they'll want to take a player that's got hamstring problems to a World Cup?
Thomas Tuchel loves Reece James. Like we know.
I think it takes him no matter what.
I think if he's fit, and he's played, let's say he plays in May, right? Plays for Chelsea.
Okay.
I think there's, I don't think Thomas Tuchel, even though he is a logical coach and we know he's going to make decisions in terms of playing players in the right position, we've always said that. I think if Reece James fit, Reece James goes.
Good.
Because I think he's that good. And again, he's someone that can make a difference, could be a game changer for England. Ali, if you're Thomas Tuchel now, looking at this England squad, who are you taking in replacement of Reece James?
I don't think he'll take Trent, by the way. I don't. I think he'll take Livramento.
And who?
I'm not sure. Is the answer to that question. It'll be Reece James if he's fit. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I think you're absolutely correct that he will not take him if there's any doubt at all. He won't take him. Livramento come in. It's definitely a door open for Trent, who I thought he played well in the first half against Manchester City, and then did his job fine in the second half.
If he doesn't, though, Ali, call Trent up on Friday. If you're Trent, you're like, well, thanks for that.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I've got no chance then.
Yeah, I think if Trent doesn't get called up now,
don't fancy me.
No.
But you got Livramento. Who else is there? There's Jed Spence.
That's it.
But he's not been in great form either.
Do you know what's we've gone from having so many brilliant right backs in a period of like 5-10 years for England to now having Reece James and Tino Livramento, and now just Tino Livramento and potentially Trent Alexander-Arnold. But
I tell you, you're all right on the other side as well. I thought Lewis Hall against Barcelona was absolutely different class. Wasn't he just?
He starts for England.
Yeah.
He absolutely starts for England. He's absolutely... Anytime I watch him, I'm so impressed.
Going forward as well.
But also he kept Lamine Yamal quiet, and not a lot of players do that. And just finally, another Chelsea story, because why not? Listen, it's not actually...
Chelsea
FC radio today,
people think that, I get to choose what I talk about, which is that... Shut up, Gabby. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Anyway... The last thing is, this is really sad news. I'm actually really, really sad about this. It's on the back page of the Mail. Renior set to axe Blues centre circle team huddle.
Really?
It's going, guys, it's going.
Why? Shouldn't have started it, never mind.
Shouldn't
have started it, never mind axed it. Tell you. It's embarrassing, man.
What was more embarrassing, Ali? The huddle or Paul Tierney standing in the middle?
Both.
No. If you had to pick one.
No, I couldn't separate them, Olivia. Honestly, it was unbelievable.
I think, Ali, when you go and lose the game at home,
oh, whatever, Gabby, mate.
Then
it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's like, stop now, guys. Come on.
How did Villa get on this weekend?
We've done okay. Are we above you?
Did you?
Are we above you?
Just about. Okay. Yeah, you were about 12 points now.
I've got to go to a break.
Now it's
calm down. Coming up, are Manchester City ready to make history and dump Real Madrid out of Champions League?
Ruben Amorim was a winning manager, but clearly not the right fit for Man United, irrespective of the fact he was a European winning manager because he won the Portuguese league.
Right.
So I'm kind of with Roy, but
you're with Roy.
Yeah,
in a certain way. I mean, he's not doing anything to rule himself out of contention.
No, I know, but also what Roy's picture is trying to extrapolate it. And I know there's a lot of cachet around Steve Holland and so on and so forth, but he was part of the England setup that flattered to deceive, that didn't win anything when they could have done. So whilst he might be an excellent coach, we're still looking at a bunch of people, with respect of being Michael Carrick being an elite footballer, that, as from a management point of view, have got what on their resume. So it's part of the conversation, not the only part of it. But if Carrick goes to the end of the season and United finish third, or even, dare I say it, catch City and finish second, then there's going to be a clamour of people suggesting that he's proven himself, that he's had 18, 19 games, and out of that 18, 19 games, or whatever many he's had, he's done X, Y, Z. I mean, they are far better for him being there, but that's because common sense has prevailed. You haven't got a manager that seems to want to riddle himself into cul-de-sacs and play a group of players that can't play the way he wants them to play. You've got a manager that's ultimately under no real pressure, because everyone thinks that United were... The pressure will come now. Now United are third. Now the pressure's now, because everyone's going to expect... United fans are going to go, you better finish inside the top four now, because you're there now.
But yeah, I take on board what Simon's saying, Martin, but if he secures Champions League football for United, what exactly is going to rule him out?
Yeah,
What's going to rule him
I get it. I do. Roy's a respected voice, and I do take the point that this group are pretty well the same group of players, finished quite low down the table.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Okay, 6:35 on the Tuesday, the 17th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Rewards event. Get £500 off your next car. This is this week only. Ally and Gabby with this morning now. More Chelsea for you if you've not done enough Chelsea so far. They've been making a lot of the headlines over the past 72 hours, Gabby, as we know. One being about the huddle around the match official before a kick-off in Saturday's defeat against Newcastle. Not just this, but Liam Renior defended his side's decision to do so, claiming they were respecting the ball after weeks, it seems like months of taking a battering. Jamie O'Hara couldn't hold back, or he couldn't stop himself on the opportunity to hammer the one and only Jason Cundy.
Did you respect the ball?
Well,
no?
That's terrible.
No, go on.
That's terrible.
Did you respect the ball?
I don't want to say that. It's terrible. Where's that from?
You got slapped. Slapped. And respect.
He's been waiting a wee while, hasn't he, Gab?
Finally. At least Jason don't walk out though, Ali.
I'll tell you what though, Gab. I mean, it was a bit of a shout, wasn't it? My players were respecting the ball. Come on.
He must afterwards. He must have thought, I'm not helping myself. And especially, Ali, when like results aren't going your way in certain games, just like when you say the wrong things, the media just jump on you, don't they?
Oh, they're all over it.
Yeah,
man.
they're all over him.
They're all over it. Now the Champions League is back tonight. Plenty of action for us tonight, Gab. And two English teams have an absolute mountain to climb.
Big charge, chipped in, Valverde trying to help it on. There is his hat-trick. Manchester City's Champions League hopes in rack and ruin before half-time in the first leg.
We've been taught a lesson tonight, Manchester City.
We'll be there, we will try with our people, and at the end, we will try.
Kvaratskhelia up to the edge of the area, right-footed shot. Oh, what a brilliant goal!
Very close to being an outstanding team, but we have to overcome this hurdle.
Ayulu at the back post, Kvaratskhelia! It's 5!
3-2 ain't a disaster. 4-2 is bordering on disaster. 5-2 is a disaster.
It's not over. It's not over yet. We've seen amazing turnarounds in football. Fight towards goal by Aspilicueta. Barra's there! And Barra scored! And Chelsea most certainly need that.
They certainly did, because Real Madrid have, well, first of all, I was in the Bernabeu, Cab, for that first game.
Yes.
And Real Madrid, they were brilliant. And the bad news is, for City, they've got a flawless record when holding a lead of 3 or more goals. And after the first leg of a Champions League knockout.
And guess who's back, Ali?
Yep, Slim Shady's back. Mbappe.
All the best, because Manchester City are going to have to push bodies forward. And there's one player you don't want on the counter-attack, Mbappe.
Mate. I know.
He scores tonight.
I actually think is Bellingham back as well?
I think Bellingham might be available as well. I'm not sure if he'll be involved, but I'm sure he's back in training.
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of it with the result. They might not feel as though they might not need to risk it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's amazing. Okay, for a bit more on this mammoth task with that are facing City tonight, let's bring in the Guardian's Manchester correspondent, Jamie Jackson. Jamie, very good morning.
Good morning,
Thanks for joining us. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Jamie. Having witnessed the first game, I was in the Bernabeu for the first game, and having been at the London Stadium on Saturday evening, Jamie, I haven't seen anything to suggest that they'll be able to do it. Can you change my mind?
Well, I hear you. I was also at the Bernabeu last week. I suppose what I would say is they started off relatively okay, City.
Yeah.
Don't know if you remember, but Doku got in a couple of times along
right.
the left, and O'Reilly as well. But what was concerning was when they put the balls in, where was Haaland? I think he scored 4 goals, Ali and Gab, in the last 18, and 2 of those have been penalties. Won't all be his fault, but, you know, they have dried up the goals. And I actually asked Bernardo Silva yesterday, would it be a shock if Guardiola dropped Haaland? I don't think he will. But I just put the sort of question to Bernardo Silva because it is a bit of an ongoing concern for Guardiola. Obviously, they want him in the team.
What did he say?
Positive points, I'm not too sure, really. I suppose if they get an early one of those sort of scenarios and the crowd sort of get on Real Madrid's back. But, yeah, Mbappe's back. You're right, Gab. He is with the squad, but he's not available, Albiola said yesterday evening. I was in that press conference. And you've got Rudiger as well, right, who loves... a sort of duel with Haaland.
Yeah.
And he was quite feisty yesterday in his press briefing, saying he was one of the first centre-backs when he went to Real Madrid in 2022 to sort of shackle Haaland, so he's up for it. But, you know, you never know. I think it's three teams have done it in the knockout proper, overturned a 3-0 deficit. Deportivo Corona, Milan and Roma. But it's few and far between have done this.
Yeah, I think Barcelona did it against PSG as well, as you said, didn't they? But it's funny because you spoke about him there, Jamie. I mean, I'm watching Haaland, particularly in Saturday night there, and even normally his movement in between the lines of the 18-yard box is good, but he wasn't getting any chance at all. He'd one kind of header late on, but apart from that, now, is it a combination of both? Is he getting starved of crosses, do you think, or does he need to do more?
It's a little bit of both, but what I'd also say, right, is they really miss Kevin De Bruyne. Because if you remember, it used to be a De Bruyne-Haaland thing. Now, Foden was supposed to step up and do this, but he's not in the team anymore. He's basically been dropped.
Yeah.
He sort of started okay-ish this season and had a bit of a flurry where he scored a few goals, and he looked like he was sort of back to Phil Foden that won the 2 Player of the Year awards 2 or 3 years ago. But he's faded, and so that supply line, which was De Bruyne, as I sort of said, and was supposed to be Foden, isn't there now. You've got Ray and Shirky, who's looked very good, but Guardiola's done his thing of sort of leaving him out when he sort of seems to be playing really well, Shirky, and you know, he picked Savinho at the Bernabeu last week. I don't know about you, Ali, but I was surprised at that, yes. He'd only sort of had one start. All right, he'd done well at Newcastle in the Cup and scored, but he nearly went in January. Or he's certainly, you know, he's not a first-team regular. So you're looking at all this and you're thinking, yeah, I mean, Haaland's, you know, he's still got over 20 Premier League goals
22, hasn't he?
Already. But you know, that happened a few months ago now, or a couple of months ago, and it just seems a little bit like the team isn't functioning as a sort of Guardiola side, you know, likes to.
Jamie, you know, for me as well, I don't know if you both agree, he done it at the Bernabeu, he done it against West Ham, with Bernardo Silva and Rodri in there on their own. Haven't really got the legs, have they? Rodri, listen, Ballon d'Or winner, fantastic player, not up to speed yet. Bernardo Silva, he's never really going to get you that ball back. To have Reinders, to have Gonzalez, Kovacic on the bench, does he have to bring another midfielder in tonight?
Totally agree with you. When I did the sort of post-game story the next day, that's kind of what I said, Gab. I said he missed an extra midfielder, you know, by picking Savinho, Semenyo and Doku, sort of three wingers essentially. I know Semenyo was up top, but you're completely right, because a Reinders or a Nico Gonzalez is extra legs, Gabby and Ali, but it also adds extra control, because they're midfielders, yes, their job, their career is built on keeping all the ball and controlling. So, yeah, I completely agree with you.
Jamie, just a quick one. Obviously, on Chelsea receiving near £11 million fine yesterday for some of the transfer business breaching Premier League rules. Is there any similarities in this case to City?
Good question. I mean, how long have you got on this?
I know.
I'm not too sure. The only similarities I'd say, it'd be interesting if City, who obviously deny any guilt, were to be found guilty, what the sanctions will be. I mean, I'm looking at the Chelsea thing and thinking, I think that's lenient, to be honest with you. And I did actually put on X yesterday, does this mean the trophies won during this period should have an asterisk next to it? I'm not the only person to be looking at this. And so City would be in the sort of same kind of region if, and I have to say again that, you know, they obviously deny all wrongdoing, but if they were to be found guilty of any of the charges. But, you know, it's a year and a half, I think, since the hearing, never mind the initial charges. So this thing is taking a heck of a long time, and, you know, that'll be that because of legal arguments and all the rest of it. But, you know, let's just wait and see what the verdict's are. I've got to say that, really. I have to wait.
Absolutely. All right, Jamie, listen, enjoy the football
Top
tonight,
man,
mate.
Jamie.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Still to come on Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
OK, we will be asking whether this is acceptable.
There's a pecking order in football. Crystal Palace will always be a selling club.
It's no contact at all. It's a scandalous decision.
Rodgers has had quite a few fouls that haven't been given, but then a little one there that Rodgers gets the ball, the ref gives. Come on!
That's right. We're going to be assessing whether fans of the teams playing should be allowed to commentate in the matches. Is there always going to be an unconscious bias when analysing the game? I don't think so all the time. I think sometimes you actually might go the opposite way. Never from the two of us, pal. That was a breakfast preview with our good friends at Travis Perkins. Come on!
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Martin Szoboszlai post-match, we have to waken up, because if we carry on like this, we should be happy with the Conference League. I don't know why this is happening. I honestly don't know. I didn't hear boos, but we can understand them. We are not performing how we should. Where's he going with it all? I mean, there's general bafflement. I noticed Szoboszlai a few times just said, I just don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Suggestions they're sort of sleepwalking out of the Champions League. I mean, that's where there's the concern at the moment. I felt maybe yesterday perhaps, I know you've got to make these changes, Jim, haven't you? But, you've got to finish the job off, and maybe people could have started that game and then came off. Konate not starting, Kirkez, there's a debate, Robertson is who's best. I thought Robertson should have attacked that ball much better at the end of the game. They were just doing enough. Galatasaray looks like it's more important on the horizon. You can't pick and choose. That game's coming up now. It can still be, Jim, a good end to the season for Liverpool. They're still in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup, huge game against Man City. It's all there for them, but it don't seem to be at boiling point. I'm not happy with what's the name, Szoboszlai playing right back. What a great talent he is. But no, I don't think there's something wrong with the balance, Jim, and they're just doing enough. Whether some players are coming to the end of their time now at Liverpool, and all of the Isak not settling, still really haven't seen him. But as I say, I still look at them as a danger, Liverpool. If they get their act together, if they could just, and you think they've turned the corner, and every time you think that, there's another bad result, and that certainly was a bad result for them yesterday.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It is, of course, Tuesday the 17th of March, and it's 6:50. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Gabby, just a quick one. The boys showed you the wee ball boy getting flung out at Dundee Derby, no?
Oh, yes.
It's hilarious, man. It is absolute. We're going to have a chat about it. It's
Poor
hilarious. Poor wee guy. Okay, what do we know this Tuesday morning? Well, I'm going to tell you, Igor Thiago celebrated his maiden, excuse me, Brazil call-up with a goal for Brentford last night, but it wasn't enough as the Bees were held at home by bottom club Wolves in a 2-2 result. Reece James' World Cup hopes have suffered a serious blow, as right back has suffered another hamstring injury. The England squad for the last international break before the summer is announced this Friday, and that'll be an interesting one. And Arsenal continue their push for the quadruple tonight as they face Leverkusen in the Champions League second leg. Live on talkSPORT, manager Mikel Arteta was asked if he's noticed the pressure ramping up in the last couple of weeks.
Probably the will to win increases year by year when you've been so close as well. But stay focused, live the present, enjoy it as well, because we have to feel privileged where we are, and then obviously have that will, that bite to make it happen.
Here's a question for you. I think I know your answer. Does he start Dowman?
No way.
I'm with you, mate.
No way he does.
I don't think there's any chance.
Leverkusen looked decent in the first leg. I think it goes as strong as possible.
Aye.
If they're 3-0 up tonight, different maybe brings him on, but I doubt it, Ali.
What I know we spoke about it yesterday, and he's obviously a great kid with fantastic potential. Yeah. But I mean, some of the stuff that's getting thrown about, Messi.
Kaka. Total different player to Kaka. Incredible.
What's going on? What is it with
What's
people?
Next, Zidane?
I know, mate.
Just calm down. All right, let him start 10 games in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's about. But I actually got hammered yesterday, Ali, because talkSPORT put up the clip of us talking about it's not an iconic goal and blah blah blah. My phone was pinging of abuse from Arsenal fans. They're so touchy, Ali.
But
honestly, like you've got a kid who's the same age. What would you do? How dare you speak about him like that? How dare you put down his achievements? He's done more than you. I'm like, oh, relax. They're so touchy, Ali. This is why people fall out with them.
You and I agreed. Gyökeres's goal was far more important.
Yeah, fantastic. I get it being iconic because it's the youngest ever Premier League goal scorer, massive for Arsenal, but it's not an iconic Premier League moment for me.
The bottom line is the second goal doesn't happen unless the first goal happens. That's the bottom line. Right, don't forget, guys, you get a live commentary of Arsenal versus Leverkusen tonight. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be there right here in talkSPORT. And, of course, Sunday's Carabao Cup final, Arsenal versus City. What a game that is going to be. Okay, guys, time now for a bit of this.
We know we ain't no Argentina, but we got John McGinn, and Robbo out on the wing. No Scotland, no party. Steve Clark's Tartan Army, and even if we don't win, we will win. We'll boogie on in Berlin. No Scotland, no party.
I've got Scottish in me. My mum was born in Airdrie.
I tell you what, you two, we might not win it, but we've got the best songs.
Oh, 100%.
Right, we've got the best song.
Best national anthem as
Three
well.
Lions, unreal.
Yeah.
It's coming home.
Do me up.
I love that song.
Come
It's
on.
coming.
We don't know when, but it's coming home.
It's coming home. Guys, it's coming home this summer. It's coming home this
Where do
summer.
we start? We start with Stevie Clark. Or we
Super
start with
Tommy
that ball
Tuchel.
boy. What about that ball boy?
No. Ali. We're going to do the ball boy a little bit later.
Okay.
We're going to do the ball boy at the end of it.
Okay.
But obviously, we just first want to touch upon Steve Clark, of course, got Scotland to their first World Cup since 1998. However, he still hasn't been offered a new contract. He is out of contract after the World Cup, and he was speaking about this ahead of Scotland's 2 friendlies next week.
I'm really comfortable. Should he stay or should he go? 25, 75, probably go 50-50 now. But I think I'm waiting on the Scottish FA now coming to me and saying, look, this is what we see as the future. And if I'm part of that, then we can have that discussion. The thing in my head is what do I do next? Where do I go next? What's next for me? I've qualified for 3 tournaments out of 4. I think that's a pretty decent record. Obviously, I'd like to do a little bit better in the tournament this summer. That's something that we can address when we get out there. In the Scottish FA, I've got to think a little bit about what's next for them. Do they think that I'm the guy that can go forward and progress the squad into the next tournament and hopefully set us up for a further World Cup qualification in 4 years' time? I've just got to sit and wait and see if any club jobs, if anybody approaches me between now and the end of the season, and then I'll have a decision to make.
Ooh. Yeah, so interesting words there from Steve Clarke. Now, Ali, I just first of all want to get your thoughts on... Do you think he should have been offered a new contract already? And are the Scottish FA waiting to see how Scotland get on in their World Cup group stage before offering him a new contract? So it all feels a little bit strange.
I can't answer that because I don't know what the SFA are thinking, but what I can say without any fear of contradiction is he's done a great job and he's doing a great job. Absolutely. I mean, we qualified for €2 in a World Cup now. We'd gone so long, without qualifying for a major tournament. And then we had the one which was at home, and then we had the one in Germany. And he's right. I mean, the performances in Germany were poor once we got there. So it'd be nice to address that, as he says, and have a better level of performance and a better level of result, which hopefully will happen in America. I think they'll offer him a contract. I mean, it's interesting here because I think he'll address the situation as well, because I think there might be 1 or 2 clubs maybe be interested in him. I don't know. There was rumours of Celtic were interested and maybe taking him as a manager, head coach as well. So I don't think he'll be short of an offer, Stevie. But I certainly think he's done enough to be offered an extension.
Ali, are you surprised that McBurney hasn't been called up? He's got 13 goals.
I know he has, but he's been batting the goals in.
Yeah,
and it's not a position that we are really, have great strength in numbers, and he's never let us down. To be honest, I was a little bit surprised. But you know something, from Stevie's point of view, guys, he is under no pressure at all.
Yes.
None at all, because he's got, as you say, Olivia, to the first World Cup since 1998, best part of 30 years. That will not concern him at all. All he'll be concerned about is getting his squad ready and his team ready, and what will be, will be.
Yeah, and you look at that group as well. It's a tough old group that Scotland have been drawn in, and that Brazil game, you'd expect Brazil to win. I mean, Scotland, their fans that are over there are going to have an incredible time supporting them, but it is a tough old group. Haiti and Morocco joining them.
You've got to beat Haiti, simple as. And by the way, the way it is, and you guys know better than me, if you win one game, you've got a chance of qualifying, because there's that many third places go through now. So Morocco will be tough, there's no doubt about that. Excellent side. You play Brazil, with a bit of luck, they might have already won their 2 games. So you maybe play them when they've already qualified. I'm kind of grasping at straws, she's already, and the tournament's not even started. But you know the point I'm trying to make.
Who are Haiti's key players, are they?
Good one. Good one, Gabby.
Who are the ones to watch?
Good. But I tell you what, I will say to you, if you ask me that before the tournament starts, I'll know then, mate, before the game. But right now, I could not tell you.
Oh, brilliant. Before we move on, Ali, one of your favourite stories.
Man.
So, Dundee against Dundee United. Now, Dundee were 2-0 down. They were 2-0 down in the 93rd minute, by the way. They scored a goal in the 94th. And then they scored a goal after that to equalise. So as you can imagine, there we are, the limbs of people in the crowd. A poor ball boy was celebrating. He got dragged away by a steward, Gabby. They thought he was a pitch invader.
Look at the wee man.
What chance have we got?
Oh, look at him. He's jumping up and down celebrating there, Gab. Then the boy huckles him. Look, that's
trying to show him his pass, Ali. I'm a ball boy. Leave me alone.
He's going, yeah, right. Get off the pitch.
Out you go.
But you're right. Imagine you're 2-0 down at the 94th minute, and then you end up getting an equaliser in the 97th and 98th. It was an own goal as well, Gab. Ball comes in, Biggin goes to head it right in his own net. Oh, man.
I'll tell you something, though, Ali. I wouldn't want to be those players 2-0 up in the 93rd minute.
Against your biggest rivals.
All the best going into that change room, Ali.
Oh, mate, listen, I've been to a few of those Tayside derbies. They're a bit tasty. And do you know, Olivia, they're you probably will know this. You know, they're the 2 nearest grounds in Britain to each other.
Oh, how far are they apart?
I reckon it might be 100 yards, about 200 yards maximum. Yes.
Really?
Absolutely, there you are. So you can imagine those derbies are a little bit tasty and they're good fun. I've been to a few. Oh, that made us laugh. Great stuff. Okay, guys, coming up, why has Liam Renior even become the gift that keeps on giving for the piranhas of social media?
In English, manage, if you split the two words, it's man, age. You're aging men.
Quite a weekend, but at the bottom, and that's where we're focusing our attention at this precise moment. Burnley and Wolves look as good as gone, of course, don't they? But draws all round for Forest at home to Fulham, Leeds away at Palace, West Ham against Manchester City, and Spurs at Liverpool. Simon, psychologically, has anyone's point moved the needle for belief?
Well, you look at the West Ham and the Forest. I mean, the Forest obviously didn't play well in Europe last week, I didn't think, but they looked like they were fighting. And West Ham certainly are fighting. But if I'm West Ham and I go and take a point of Man City, that you expected to react after the beating they took at Real Madrid and needed to react to keep themselves into the Premier League race, and they get a point, and yet they still find themselves at the end of the weekend in the bottom three, I think there's an element of dispiriting about that. But by the same token, Nuno Espirito Santo will have built up this morale inside the club because their recent performances have been commendable. They've really dragged themselves from the brink and the precipice of being completely written off by most of us into a position now where a lot of us, or a lot of people, will think they can get out in spite of either the irony of Nottingham Forest because of the managerial circumstance, or at the expense of Tottenham Hotspur and all that goes with that, getting relegated. But I still feel, and I'm not going to change my view, that West Ham might find themselves still getting relegated. And I do think, for whatever reason, and I'm happy to be wrong, and I may well be, often am, that some way Tottenham are going to find their way through, and not because of the manager, because the players and the realisation of the players. It will be. We often talk about players in dressing rooms that can get teams across lines.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big un. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park, and don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Okay, it's Tuesday, March the 17th, it's 7 minutes past 7. Gabby, just to let you know that top scorer for the Haiti national team is Dukins Nazon.
Great player.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, in behind Ali, got to watch his runs.
Me and your auntie just sent me that on the phone. Brilliant. On the way for you this morning, FA Cup winner with Chelsea and Frank Lampard's former assistant Jody Morris will tell us whether Chelsea can pull off an impossible tonight against PSG. It certainly looks. Here's a quick one for you, Gab. Who's got the tougher task? City or Chelsea?
Oh.
I know, mate.
I might have to go City, Ali. I might have to.
Yeah.
There's not much in it, but I just think if you look at the last game, Chelsea's mistakes gifted so many goals to PSG.
I know, mate.
You know, it was great play, wasn't it, by Real Madrid, all 3 goals.
The goalie has a nightmare.
Yeah. If Chelsea can just, for once, a goalkeeper have a good game, 2 centre-halves concentrate, then they've got a chance, haven't they? Because we know they can score goals, Chelsea.
100%.
But I just think both teams go out, mate, to be honest.
No, I don't disagree, mate. And on that note, we're going to look ahead to tonight's Champions League action with TNT Sports.
Breakfast football preview on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Get the Premier League, UEFA Champions League and Emirates FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports, not normal. Subscription required, 18 plus, terms and conditions apply.
So here we go. Chelsea are never far away from the news, and manager Liam Renior hasn't exactly helped with his latest David Brent instalment, Respect the Ball.
I'm not arrogant. I'm good at what I do. I got sent a really, really good article that I enjoyed. Trust, encouragement, reward, loyalty, satisfaction. That's what I'm,
When we defend it, every on the pitch has to defend.
Feisty one you are.
My hero in life is Sir Alex Ferguson. And if you understand the history of what he achieved.
If we're facing in the right direction, all we have to do is keep on walking.
What do you mean? Don't have a pop at me. Management.
You meant to age men?
In English, manage, if you split the two words, is man, age. You're aging men.
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball, and show unity and leadership.
Just want to be popular as the new boss. Oh, love me? Pathetic.
Okay.
Not involved, Ali. I'm not involved. Disrespectful, that is. I'm not involved. I'm not laughing.
No, me neither.
No.
It's been quite a week for Chelsea, to be quite frank. Huddling around Paul Taylor, the manager, the senior, calling for his players to respect the ball. Suspended transfer ban and record Premier League fine for secret payments to unregistered agents and third parties. Obviously lost at home at Newcastle, 5-2 down to PSG. And what's a real blow? Reece James is injured again, so we're going to get more on what's been on the last couple of weeks at Chelsea with Chelsea Fan TV. Alex Harris. Alex, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. Good to see you guys.
You too, mate. Thanks for joining us. We've had you and I have had conversations, of course, Alex, previously, but it has been quite a week. How are we describing this week from Chelsea's point of view, mate?
I mean, it's just for me personally, I'm getting messages from people going, Alex, like we totally sympathise with a lot of the interviews that we're seeing from Chelsea fans outside the stadium. We understand it's a pretty depressing time at the moment. You still got some people who are obviously talking about the ownership, by the way, that they deserve a lot of blame for what's going on. Renior clearly doesn't have good enough centre-backs. The goalkeeping issue is something that could have been addressed as well as, you look at Delap coming on as a substitute against Newcastle. We do lack quality, but that being said, we're good enough to beat Newcastle, right? And the mistakes that we made against PSG, I think Renior has a big part to play in that as well. I think if I was to sum up the situation with Renior at the moment, I'll just give you a personal reference. So my mum's birthday was in February, and I posted her a card, and it was late. It arrived late. She wasn't happy with me. Let's just put it like that. So when Mother's Day came up, and I sent her some flowers, they managed to arrive the day of Mother's Day, right? If they hadn't have arrived, she would have never spoken to me again. She would have been done. And that's where I'm at with Renior. Because every single week, it's another excuse. Oh, we beat Aston Villa 4-1. It was the referee's fault. We're third since I've come into the job, because that means something. Because we're not actually third in the table. It's just in Renior's mind, we're third. And there's always another excuse. And by the way, I've got no problem with managers coming out and trying to defend themselves. What I do have a problem with is constantly just looking for people to look at something different when the reality is nobody cares. You're not getting results. You're not getting this team playing attractive football. The one thing that I said when Renior come in was, at least will be fun to watch. And I'm not even enjoying watching the team. Like, he's come out after the Arsenal game, I think, or before then, and he's gone, I can't change too much. So, you've got to change something, because nobody enjoyed watching Maresca's football. The only reason that people gave him any respect, myself included, was because of the Club World Cup and because he achieved Champions League football and got a Conference League. He's clearly not going to win any trophies this year with Chelsea the way we're going right now. I mean, we do have a chance potentially to have a domestic cup run. Nobody's saying that's out of the picture, but every time we've had a little bit of adversity and we've had to play against a half-decent team, we've capitulated. So there's no evidence to show that trend is going to change anytime soon.
Alex, can I ask you a question, please, mate? Liam Delap, 21 appearances in the Premier League, 1 goal. Where will he be playing his football next season? Do you think he's good enough for Chelsea?
I mean, I do think Delap's had a very tough time. I expected so much more. I thought he would have good hold-up play. He's not particularly strong. He's poor in the air. His conversion rate is horrendous. His link-up isn't great. So, I mean, even for someone who was a big fan of Delap, and I like Delap, I do think Delap's good enough for the Premier League, but clearly he's taking some time to adjust. I mean, if we're looking for an easy solution, then maybe Strasbourg. I don't know. That could be a pathway for him, but yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's not even a bad signing in terms of what we paid. Like, we didn't pay $1 million, 100 million for him. We paid 30. But it's like, you could have still paid for other players of a better quality. At least you look at You know, Man United, they're signing Cunha and Mbuemo and Sesko. These are risky signings if they don't go well. They're on big money. But it's actually paid dividends in the end because they were relatively established players when they were brought in. And then you've got the likes of what Chelsea are doing. We don't even bring players in that are established. They're forced to establish themselves with us. And when you have so many players and such a lack of experience and ready-made quality, who's the lap going to look at and go, I want to be like you? Because João Pedro, he hadn't proven himself before coming here either.
Alex,
I mean, it's the same for most of the signings.
It never rains but it pours, and I'm thinking Reece James, man. I'm actually gutted for Reece James, first of all.
Why, because he signed a new contract?
Well, no, due to the fact, bad news for him and bad news for England that he's injured. And he's injured again at hamstring. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I was only joking with the contract. It's good that James has decided to start. I can't believe he's actually agreed to this wage structure. But, yeah, I mean, it is a shame. He's actually been managed pretty well, though. So, I mean, I can't sit here and blame the club or the management. We've been playing him in a way that's allowed him to recover over the past sort of season or so. I think Maresca managed him pretty well. Obviously, the medical team, they would have had an impact on that as well. So, yeah, it is disappointing, definitely.
Okay, listen, thanks for your time again this morning, mate.
Yes,
enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks, guys.
We'll watching, fingers crossed. Chelsea fans, give your calls this morning, please. You know the drill. 03717 223344. Air your views. Alex here, co-founder and host of Chelsea Fan TV. Now stream the UEFA Champions League, Europa League and Conference League live with TNT Sports on Discovery Plus, or watch TNT Sports channels on EE, Sky and Virgin Media.
Breakfast football preview on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Get the Premier League, UEFA Champions League and Emirates FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports, not normal. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
We're going to find out just how good is this young teenage sensation, Max Dowman. In August, he became the Premier League's second youngest debutant behind Nwaneri, as he became the Premier League's youngest ever goal scorer, which is incredible. And the back page this morning, like Sir John Terry, Alan Pardew, are already getting carried away and calling Dowman the English Messi. And I'm delighted to see joining us now as a resident Arsenal fan and Gabby's biggest wind-up merchant on the planet, Joel Bayer. Joel, good morning, mate.
Joel.
Good morning, Ellie and Gabby. How are you both?
Ah, mate, listen, we're absolutely buzzing, but you, I can see you're just rubbing your hands there, mate. That weekend, mate, that might be the weekend that clinched it. Am I going too far saying that?
You're not going too far. I don't think you're going far enough, Ellie, if you ask me, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, an amazing weekend. Can you imagine Max Dowman this morning in a couple of hours?
No. Oh, mate.
Wow. Oh, mental. Daniel Sturridge did the little walk when he was on the show, yeah. But
exactly
really,
what he should be doing.
That was 60,000 Arsenal fans on the weekend, honestly.
But it's been coming, hasn't it? He probably looked at it and thought, I wish I had more game time than I've had.
Yeah.
He's been injured a little bit, so you can't blame him there. But, you know, he's done exceptionally well. The good thing is he's actually got a nice imprint now for when we become champions. He can look back at the season and go, I contributed. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Innit, Gabby? It's amazing, innit,
Ali,
Gabby?
this guy is unbearable, mate. When Arsenal win the league, right, I've either got to work from home or I'm going on a world tour, mate. Yeah,
I'll retire.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
No, we don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it, Biggs.
Okay, 7:20 is of course Tuesday the 17th of March. talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally Gabby with you this morning. Big thanks to Alex. He did quite a moan about Chelsea, and we're pleased to say we might have another one on the line. George has given us a call. George, good morning.
Morning, George.
Morning, guys. Great show. Morning, great show as always. Great show as always.
Thank you, George.
Before I go into my beloved Chelsea, I just want to take my hat off to Gabby for a couple of weeks ago. Gabby, I was listening. It was on a weekend, I think, or a Friday. And they were going on, you were both Sam Matterface and Crooked, and they were going on about the Champions League and how bad it was about premierships being in there. But like, not one of those teams won, did they? So you were right.
Yeah, you're spot on there. Those two jokers were saying that, like, oh, there's 6 Premier League clubs in, they should all win, they should all go through, and we should be guaranteed to win it, an English team. And look what happened.
Look what happened. The cream always rises to the top.
Thank you, mate.
Anyway, let's go back onto the beloved Chelsea. Look, that Renior, I said it at the beginning. I was the one that came on here a long time ago when he came into the club, that he's just a glorified PE teacher. You know, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's out of his depth. He's well out of his depth. You know, coming out with, you know, sayings like now, like, respect the ball. I manage players. I help men age. All of this stuff. It's just, you know, he's clutching at straws, and you can see it now. He's taking Chelsea backwards. He is taking Chelsea backwards. There's nothing now. I said for a long time that those players, when he first came in, you know, they would carry him for as far as they could go. But now they're dropping him. And you know, when I look at it, it's like, they pressed the reset button and got rid of Maresca. What was Maresca actually doing wrong? Okay, he came out and spoke out against them and that, and they didn't like that. But to be honest with you, I like the way we were going with Maresca. I thought we were building something. I thought his man management was brilliant, and I thought he had something about him, a bit of charisma and a personality. Whereas Liam Renior, you know, he's just come from Strasbourg. You know, those players. He's in that dressing room and they're looking at him. You've got an Enzo Fernandez, a World Cup winner, looking at him thinking, what have you done? What have you done in your time to be telling me?
George, have you got a chance tonight? Have the Chelsea boys got a chance tonight, do you think? Any chance at all?
I don't think we have got a chance. You know, I've just said to someone then that the days of great Champions League games, you know, nights at Stamford Bridge, I think are long gone. Can I just say this, though, with Reece James being injured, I'm going to take this with a pinch of salt, and you might not, you know, Gabby, you could inform me, and Ali, you could inform me on this. You know, I think he might have had a strain on him, and I think he's probably got a friend in that medical team, and he's like, look, he's looked at Chelsea, look what's happening this season, and thinks, you know what, I want to be on that plane to America. And I don't mind him doing that, sitting out for Chelsea, because we ain't got really much to play for this season. But
even if he has got a strain, though, mate, he's probably thinking, you know what, hopefully it could be a 2 or 3 weeker where, you know what, I don't want to risk it off out a little bit. Let me sit out of these 2 games now, and I'm back for the Man City game in 5 weeks.
You know what it's like, Gabby, if he's got a strain at all, he'll not take any chance.
Exactly.
George, thanks for your call,
Top
pal.
man, George.
Appreciate your call. Now, over the weekend, Sky Sports allowed Wrexham owners Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds on commentary duty during their Welsh derby versus Swansea at the weekend. We were joined by the Daily Mail writer Luke Power yesterday, and he slammed the decision to get them on comms, calling it a party political broadcast. Let's bring in football reporter, Wrexham fan, and recurring character, and a welcome to Wrexham series, Bryn Law. Bryn, good morning.
Good morning, Bryn.
Good morning, Borridar.
How are you, pal? First of all, great result for Wrexham. Did you see it as a party political broadcast?
Well, I did actually watch some of it because I was at the game at Hull on Tuesday night. I was there for the Chelsea game, but I didn't make it back for Swansea on Friday. So I was watching like a lot of other people clearly were. I'm not really seeing it as a party political broadcast. I'm seeing it as an opportunity by a broadcaster to try and just sprinkle something a little bit different over a Friday night championship fixture. And the very fact that you had an opportunity to not listen to that particular commentary, you could actually go for the conventional one, suggests that there were other options were available. You didn't have to sit and get yourself really, really worked up about the fact that flipping Wrexham were on the telly again. And not only that, but they had their...
Wait till they get promoted.
Well.
Wait till they get promoted. See what happens then.
I tell you what, Brent, they're sitting, as you know better than me, they're sitting in the playoff places.
Yes.
I've been a couple of times, Brent, I've got to say, and I said yesterday to Gabby, it's incredible just how invested those boys are. I mean, Rob McElhenney wasn't at the particular game I was at, but Ryan Reynolds was there, and I'm amazed isn't the right word. I was really pleased to see just how he conducts himself and how invested he is in the whole setup at Wrexham.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to meet the two guys. I've watched the games in their company, and that's the one. It's the takeaway, that you have from this. I've watched Wrexham since 1979, so I'm there. I'm in it. I need to be able to recognise similar signs of madness in the people that I encounter who are also coming into the club then to take ownership of it. And I see those signs of madness in these two lads. They've just they've been sucked into the whole thing. They've bought into the whole thing, and they are completely emotionally invested. As well, of course, as a financial investment that they have. And it's, you know what, watching Wrexham, and I don't think this applies, I've just heard George ranting there about Chelsea. I don't know if this applies to many clubs these days, but watching Wrexham is a lot of fun.
Yes. I want to ask you about the stadium. Behind one of the goals, they're building a new stand, aren't they? What would the capacity be once that's done?
Well, at the moment, I think they're looking at 5.5, and they want to go up to somewhere over 7,000 for that.
Okay.
So, what will that take the stadium up to? Something around about 15.5, between 15.5 and 17.
And that will sell out easy, won't it?
Good question. I wouldn't say easy. I mean, I remember when I started watching Wrexham, they were drawing gates of 17, 18, 19, 20,000. So there is a precedent for this, but that was in the late 1970s. They'll have to do some work to make sure they fill it every week. And of course, at the moment, everybody's on the crest of a wave, promotion. Yes. But you're going to have to maintain that momentum now for the longer term, because what you want to have done now is create new fans who will come week in, week out, in the same way that it's like people like me will, have been doing it for years and years and years. You've got to create that same level of investment from the fan base now as well.
But here's a quick one for you, mate. I think they've got, obviously at Watford tonight, I think they've got an opportunity. They might be able to go above Hull with a victory. Would it necessarily, this might be absolute sacrilege what I'm about to ask you, would it necessarily be a bad thing if they didn't go up this season? Because I'm not sure it would be a bad thing.
I'd say hand on heart, as somebody who works and has worked around the football industry for a long, long time, it wouldn't be the worst thing if they didn't go up this year. And I know you don't get to pick and choose good or bad season. I think this is a good season to be in the Championship, because I don't think through the entire list of clubs, I don't think it's particularly a strong Championship season this season. I've seen a lot of Championship football. If you get the opportunity, of course, you take the opportunity. But the club's infrastructure, and you've talked about the stadium, Gabby, the club's infrastructure is lagging a long way behind what's happening on the pitch currently. And that's the bit that would concern me. The club, they don't have a training ground currently, so that they use other people's facilities for those kinds of things. The higher you go, the greater the demands of the 100%. Players that you're looking to recruit.
Bryn, my final question for you is this, Bryn. Where the devil are you? Because it looks magnificent in the background. Where is that?
I'm in the conservatory at Law Towers. Don't you have a room like this?
I love it, mate. Listen, mate, I'll need to get myself one of those, pal. I'll need to get myself. Great to see you, mate.
Top man, thank you.
Keep up a good work. Lovely to talk to you, Bryn. Thanks for joining us, mate. Now, Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham set to walk straight back into the Real Madrid side tonight at the Etihad. We'll ask someone in the know next.
What was more ridiculous? The Chelsea players' huddle or referee Paul Tierney making himself the main character of it? Chelsea have begun performing a pre-match huddle, but doing it in the centre circle of all places. It's drawn boos by opposition fans in recent weeks, with the start of games being somewhat slowed down. And Chelsea opted to do the same huddle before the Newcastle game on Saturday evening. But Paul Tierney, strangely, was right in the middle of it and didn't make any attempt to get out of it. So they had their huddle and Tierney, bizarrely, was part of it. After the game, Liam Renior said, "No, this was by no means disrespectful by my boys."
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball, and show unity and leadership. That is not my decision. That was a decision between the leadership group and the team. There is nothing that they're doing with that huddle that is disrespectful to the opposition. And do you know what's amazing? Before the game, it wasn't me. We had a meeting with the referee. My assistant goes in. The first thing he talks about is our huddle. And he says about when I complained about Arsenal being in our half. It wasn't the goalkeeper coach that was in our half, and people who were at that game at Arsenal know why I said what I said. We're not being disrespectful to the opposition. If Paul had focused more on his job, which was to make the right decision, we have a penalty today.
So Liam Renior chose that moment to have a swipe at Paul Tierney. Martin, have you ever seen anything like this? A huddle to respect the ball, which on Saturday evening included the referee in the middle of it.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Ali.
Yes, my friend.
Is that a problem? Like, we can't have anything nowadays, can we?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you, mate. It's a small thing. I don't think it's a guarantee in all relationships.
But it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have so much, Ali. You know, we can't do it all.
No.
Come on.
Is it all folded when it's put out? Yeah.
Absolutely. And the only reason I do it, Ali, is because Alan told me that's what I should do.
Oh,
so
Alan,
I've had live tips from Alan Brazil.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking about Alan Brazil, I think it's time to wish Jill a very, very happy birthday.
Oh, amazing.
I'm sure it's her birthday today, St. Patrick's
Happy
Day.
birthday, Jill.
Happy birthday to
I'm
Jill.
sure he's going to treat her to loads of presents, Ali.
I'm sure he is. This is talkSPORT Breakfast Arnold Clark's Rewards event. Get £500 off your car this week only. Your next car this week only. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, Bournemouth have taken to social media to congratulate minority owner Michael B. Jordan for his historic Oscar win for his performance in Sinners. If you're watching us on YouTube or Smart TV, you'll see what I'm on about. What do you think, Gabby? Some carry on, innit?
Yeah, but I've got no problem with that because he is part owner, isn't he?
Yeah.
So there's no problem with that. Wishing your part owner congratulations.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Oh.
I was talking about the fact that he was at the Oscars and I didn't make it after my performance. That's...
Ali, you were fantastic, by the way.
Much, mate.
Honestly, mate.
You've no idea the stick you got me yesterday, mate. You've got no idea. A huge game to come in the Champions League tonight as Manchester City have to overcome, if any chance at all, a 3-0 deficit from the first leg of the knockouts against Real Madrid. We heard earlier from Jamie Jackson, the Garden's Manchester correspondent. So let's flip the other perspective in tonight's game and bring in the Athletics Real Madrid writer Dermot Corrigan. Dermot, a very good morning, a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good morning, Dermot.
Hey, Ali. Hey, Gabby. Thanks very much. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you guys too.
Good to see you, mate. Now, I was at the game last Wednesday night where I thought Real Madrid, and I know City, they came out first 10, 15 minutes and played pretty well. But over the piece, I thought Real Madrid were absolutely excellent. On that evidence, and on the evidence what I saw on Saturday night in London, I can't see there's any chance of a comeback, mate.
Yeah, it was a surprise for a lot of people around the Bernabeu how well Madrid played and how badly City played last week. Because Madrid hadn't been in great form. They'd had a lot of injuries. There was issues around. Arbeloa has just come in as coach. But it's like Madrid in the Champions League. They all pulled together. They worked harder than they had been recently. They were better collectively, better defensively. And Valverde, incredible hat-trick. Always has a long-range shot in his locker. Valverde is a good player for Madrid. But that was his best night as a Madrid player. And it's what tends to happen to Madrid in the Champions League, the big nights, that somebody steps up and does something special. And there's a lot of confidence around Madrid that they're going to be able to finish the job tonight.
He's confident as well, Dermot, because 4-1 win on the weekend against Elche, and he scored another top corner effort, chopped back on his right foot, didn't he? Bent it in the top corner. And also, Gula scored a long-distance goal. Ali, my hamstring would come out of my body if I tried to do that, mate.
I thought it was absolutely incredible. See, getting back to that game on the Wednesday, Dermot, I'm going to say to you, you mentioned, I mean, the overall performance was incredible. But one of the things I noticed, I thought happened, was like Brahim Diaz and Arda Güler that we mentioned. They dropped back. I mean, they worked their socks off, but they dropped back into the middle of the park, and I thought they outnumbered Rodri and Bernardo Silva in the middle of the park, and that's where I thought the game effectively was, began to take over from Real Madrid's point of view. Also, and you've mentioned it, the quality of the goals from Valverde.
Yeah, it was strange because normally when City, they've been to the Bernabeu so many times in recent years, and before that when Guardiola used to bring Barcelona, the team would be full of midfielders and they'd dominate possession, and Madrid would find it hard to get the ball off them. And Madrid were ready for that, I think, in the game, but then we're a bit surprised that City played so many attackers, so many wingers, and it turned out that Madrid ended up having more men in midfield and were able to kind of control the game in that kind of way, which was unusual. It helped a little bit the injuries that Madrid have at the moment. The fact that Mbappe wasn't available, the fact that Bellingham wasn't there meant that they could play more players who were, maybe work a bit harder defensively, who are more willing to settle into the collective shape that Arbeloa wanted to do. And Valverde said that as well, that the fact that there were more of those guys allowed him to get forward, that if Mbappe was there and if Bellingham was there, it was more likely that he would have been sitting a bit deeper and he wouldn't have been breaking forward the way that he was. So circumstances kind of came together for Madrid and they took advantage of it really well.
I think they shocked everyone, didn't they, Real Madrid, in their performance, because I think a lot of pundits says I fancy Man City to go and win. The bookies had Manchester City as favourites at the Bernabeu. I've never known Real Madrid to not be favourites at home. But like you says, the work rate, everyone working for each other. Vinicius Jr. was on one. Valverde, of course. But does Mbappe come back into this team now because they're doing okay without him, aren't they?
I think if Mbappe's at 100%, then he's going to start. He's the main Galactico at the minute. He's a big bet by Madrid president Florentino Perez, and he scored so many goals. He got like more than 50 goals, or about 50 goals last calendar year. And when he's fit, he's amazing. But he hasn't been fit for the last 2 months or so at least now. He has a problem with his knee. He's tried to play through it sometimes. He's rested sometimes. They're taking a kind of cautious view on it. They don't want to go for an operation. He's got the World Cup coming up as well. So he's on the bench tonight. He's there if he's needed. But I find it difficult to believe that Arbeloa is going to throw him into the game unless something goes completely wrong for Madrid and maybe an extra time. They need to turn it around or something again. So I don't think we'll see Mbappe tonight. The challenge for maybe in the next round for Arbeloa, assuming they get through, is how to fit everybody together. But for the moment, he's going to be able to play the guys. It'd be more or less the same team, I think, as started last weekend or last week.
Well, I've got you, mate. I want to ask you, I was a couple of days in Madrid last week, and some good games, obviously, the Bernabeu on the Wednesday, and I was Atletico Madrid, Tottenham on the Tuesday. I'll tell you what I will say to you, mate. I mean, obviously, Tottenham defensively, particularly opening 20 minutes, were absolutely all over the place. And the tie, never mind the game, I think the tie was effectively killed off then. But do you know who I thought was absolutely outstanding, Dermot? And you can tell me, has he been like this all season, would be Antoine Griezmann. I thought, looking at him, I thought he was just, not coming towards the end of his career, but reaching that stage, perhaps, where you're maybe on that wee slippery slope. But I need to tell you, mate, he was absolutely outstanding last Tuesday.
Yeah, he was tremendous. He's been on a bit of a roller coaster maybe over the last 18 months or so. Last season wasn't a great season for him. It was probably his lowest season since he came back to Atletico Madrid, and it looked as if he was on the way out. There's been a lot of talk about him going to MLS. I think he will go at some stage. But he's kind of got to that stage, as you say, of his career where he doesn't have to play every week. He doesn't play 90 minutes that often. Often when he does come in, he plays in a more withdrawn role, maybe even as one of the three midfielders, a kind of number 10 kind of playmaking role. And he's tremendous at it. He's, football brain. He's a tremendous football brain, yeah. Griezmann. He's always had that understanding of what goes on. He had those years at Barcelona as well, which I think helped him with that. And he can just orchestrate, especially against Spurs, who were a bit of a mess. And then we're trying to get back into the game as well. It was ideal really for Griezmann to put on a show, but he'd done it before against Barcelona a few weeks ago. They beat them in the Copa del Rey. Griezmann was tremendous in that game as well. And he's great to watch sometimes. He has that understanding of the game, that technical ability. He can put people into space. He can do little bits of skill that get the fans excited.
They've got a good team, haven't they, on their day, Atletico Madrid? Even Lookman was a great signing from Atalanta. Alvarez, we know how good he is, clinical. On their day, you didn't want to face them, do you?
No, it's a different Atletico team because we're kind of used to, especially in the Champions League, seeing these warrior guys, Diego Costa, Diego Godin, Atletico, being tough, defending deep, hitting on the break. But they've got a lot of skillful players. Maybe this squad has evolved over the last decade or so. Simeone himself has evolved, and if they get through, maybe it could be Barca again or maybe Newcastle in the next round, and they'll fancy themselves in that.
Yes. Brilliant, Dermot. Enjoy your football tonight, mate. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. If you can't get enough of the Champions League, then look no further as European football expert Kevin Hatchard and Angelina Kelly bring you everything you need to know about this week's second leg fixtures in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast. Available on all podcast platforms right now. Right, listen up, F1 fans. We are down. There's a baseline. Oh, brilliant timing, Ed. Ed just came in with it. Oh, let's do it again, Ed. Right, listen up. F1 fans, we're down to the final week. We want to send you and a mate to Silverstone on July the 5th for a British Grand Prix experience like no other. For general admission, we're putting you right in the heart of it with the full racing green trackside experience. Experience F1 in the best possible way. You get exclusive grandstand seats plus inner track access to watch the drivers roll into the paddock. And we've got the whole day sorted with all-day street food and a fully open bar and more. Ends Friday at 4 p.m. Here's how to enter, guys. For your chance to win, text 1 to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. The lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. Clearly, that's when your phone rings. You will have to answer. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text 1 to 83338 now. Can I get a lie down now, Gabby? Coming up, should co-commentators steer clear of their own teams? Discussing that next.
Win a VIP trip to the British Grand Prix on talkSPORT.
Where does Bruno rank in Manchester United's all-time great midfielders? I'm just going to start by saying I think he's the best player in the Premier League right now. I don't think anyone is performing to the levels that he is. I can't think of anyone at Arsenal that's doing that. I can't think of anyone at Manchester City that's doing that week in, week out, consistently at the highest level. And he's doing it in the position that he's supposed to be playing in. Completely different where Ruben Amorim played him, and makes that decision even more crazy when you think of what he's doing right now. So fair play to Michael Carrick. And also, does he get into an all-time Manchester United Premier League 11? Because we were thinking maybe Ryan Giggs on the left, Cristiano Ronaldo or David Beckham on the right, Rooney up top. Are you putting Bruno Fernandes in the 10 with maybe Keane and Scholes in midfield? That might be another one. 81089, get in touch. But Manchester United obviously go clear in third with that result. It's 7 wins in 9 under Michael Carrick. And fans are begging Casemiro to stay as well, I suppose, as Michael Carrick, after he scored again. While Wayne Rooney says Carrick should be given the job full time, Carrick's enjoying himself.
I'm in this position at the moment, doing the best I can, and loving it, obviously, and keep pushing for more. You know, we want to make the team as good as we can. We want to keep improving everything, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But in terms of conversations, we get on great.
Yeah, I obviously he's doing an incredible job. Like I said, 7 wins out of 9, and I would be surprised if they didn't give him the job in the summer, given how it's gone. I think they should get Champions League, but obviously playing one game every 2 weeks, you probably should get Champions League. But it depends if big managers come available in the summer.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How did you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, guys, 7:50 is, of course, Tuesday, 17th of March. Ally and Gabby with you on talkSPORT Breakfast. Now, at Cheltenham last week, Gabby went heavy and two-footed, needless challenge on Martin Keown following Arsenal's Champions League last 16 first leg draw.
Van Nistelrooy is my favourite player, Ali, that's why. That's the guy that's getting back.
Away at Bayer Leverkusen. Here we go.
Madwakey dived for a penalty. Blatant dive. Mr. Biased, Martin Keown, doing the game last night, said it was a definite penalty. It's getting a bit silly now. He's biased towards Arsenal. Definite dive, and I'm just surprised that VAR didn't overturn it. So Arsenal very lucky, and another boring game to watch.
It was
it was one of the games where I was like, 5:45, can I have a little half-hour nap here in the second half? But I didn't. I watched it through, and it was very, very boring game.
Okay. Olivia's back in the studio. Olivia, what have you got for us?
Hello. Yes, that leads us on nicely to how people feel about having like ex-players that commentate, that are pundits for their former clubs.
Yep.
Now, obviously, Martin Keown's a really good example. What I liked from that clip was Lindsay Hipgrave, the presenter, going, well, if that was given against Arsenal, how would you feel? And he went, well, that didn't happen, so I'm not going to comment on it.
Exactly.
So that makes you think that if it happened against Arsenal, Martin Keown probably would have said that's not a penalty and VAR should have overturned it.
Yeah.
Now, Gabby, obviously, do you comment? I suppose do you commentate on Villa a lot?
I've done it a few times this season, and afterwards, when I listen to parts of it, too biased, I'm calling Aston Villa us.
I find that really hard.
So I'm like, how have we not got a foul there? And I remember, you're doing go-coms, you've got to be neutral. You can't say us or we. Or...
But fans, I feel like fans have a love-hate relationship with this, right? Because they do want representatives of their clubs in the media. They want to listen to you on Villa. They want to listen to Ali on Rangers. They want to listen to... And Arsenal fans will probably want to listen to Martin Keown on Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I think there's also another side of it where, as a pundit, as a commentator, you do have a duty to give a neutral, objective view and maybe not be shouting and screaming when your team scores. Yeah. But equally, I think there's like a thin line, isn't there, Ali, between getting it right?
100%. No, I think I actually found it harder to commentate in Scotland games, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think it's my duty to be 100% honest in what you see when you're co-commentating, right? No matter what who's playing or what it is. But if it's a Rangers game, for example, there is absolutely no way that I'm going to say anything other than what I think and I believe, right? Now, for example, the penalty against Leverkusen, I didn't think it was a penalty, right? Martin maybe did. He obviously does think it's a penalty, right? Now, if he thinks it's a penalty, that's absolutely fine. It's his opinion. I didn't think it was a penalty. Gabby didn't think it was a penalty. No. Now, there is a very, very thin line. If he's saying that out of bias, right, then that's a problem. But if he's saying it, if he thinks it, then that's not an issue at all.
But
I always find you're going to upset people with your co-commentary, right? It's amazing, Gab. See, if I do a Man United game and Man United get beat, no matter what happens, you'll get stick.
Yes.
You know, that goes with territory. And I don't mean just Man United, I mean the bigger clubs in general. You know, Arsenal, Liverpool, you know, Man City guys. If you say anything against them, you do get a bit of stick. But it's your job to give an honest and valuable opinion on what you can see, and that's what you've got to do.
Ali, do you think, just going back to the Martin Keown incident, that the fact that he couldn't answer the question, if you think that's a penalty, you think it's a penalty no matter what box it happens in?
Oh, absolutely right.
So the fact that when Lindsay Hipgrave asked him, and he said, I'm not answering that because that's a hypothetical situation, that to me screams, I'm giving it, that's a penalty because it's gone for my team.
Well, it's not a hypothetical situation in the respect, you're seeing that as a foul and a free kick, no matter who the teams are, no matter who the players are. If you're seeing that as a penalty or an infringement, you're seeing it in the 4th division, you're seeing it non-league, you're seeing it across
the problem is, though, Ali, is that it happened early on in the season when Aston Villa scored that last-minute winner. And even our future king, Prince William, called Martin Keown out because he I think it was Odegaard, man of the match, maybe, and it was like, didn't even play that well. And even when Aston Villa scored, on his co-coms, he sounded upset. And Villa fans are like, You know, you played for Aston Villa once in a while as well, Martin. But I found it difficult, Ali, because the seats at Villa Park for the co-coms are very close to the pitch. I remember there was an incident where, like, player dived. I jumped up and shouted, "Ref, that's never a foul!" And I was like, "Oh, I want co-coms. Okay, this isn't for me. I'll get too into the game."
Yeah, and I think what people like is people don't mind listening to Jamie Carragher on Liverpool because I think he does give quite an unbiased view.
Does.
I think he will call out people when it's right to call out people, even if Liverpool... He's clashed with loads of Liverpool fans because they don't want him to do that. But I think other football fans will respect that he does that.
Yeah. Of course.
And like Gary Neville, I suppose, on the other hand, sometimes refused to come out and criticise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was Manchester United manager, because of his relationship with him. And that frustrated a lot of football fans out there as well. Do you understand that point of it as well?
I think that's how I'm probably a little bit fortunate in the respect that when I do the English games or the European games in general, you know, I've not got an axe to grind, or you know, I've not got a boot in any camp at all. So, you know, you might not like what I say, but I'm just saying it because I see it and I believe it. You know, whereas people will ask questions naturally of Martin and yourself, Gabby, if you're doing a Villa game, Gary Neville's doing a United game, whatever it may be, they will, rightly or wrongly, sometimes think, he's only saying
Ali,
that
if you're doing a Rangers Celtic game and Celtic get a horrendous decision of a penalty and it's nowhere near a penalty, you saw the replays, it'll probably be difficult for you, won't it, to hold that in and be like, and not lose your temper, like, how's that a penalty? The ref, how have you given that? It can be difficult, can't it?
It can be difficult, but that's where you have to just call it 100% as you see it, you know, and take whatever comes your way, because there's no, you cannot be focused by anything other than what you see, Gabby, I don't think, and you have to make a judgment on it, and hopefully you'll get it right. Sometimes you won't get it. Sometimes sometimes you know what it's like. Sometimes the opinion will be split. Yes. And people say, no, that was a penalty, or that was a free kick, it was inside the box, it was outside the box. But you generally speaking, have to call it exactly how you see it, and you won't please everybody all the time.
I think it's the balance, isn't it? Just getting the balance right between, you're allowed to, you know, you're representing I suppose you are there because you're representing, or you represented a club for so long playing. But I think, Martin Keown's probably the one that seems to irritate a lot of people.
Yeah, the Odegaard man of the match. For the future King, Ali, to have to get on Twitter and call you out, you must have upset a lot of people, Martin. Please don't do that again.
Olivia, end it, but tell me you're going to Tokyo.
I am. Oh my gosh, guys. Amazing. So I'm actually not going to see you now for 2 weeks because I'm going to Tokyo on Sunday on a work trip. But I've got 3 days off before I start working. So guess what I'm going to go and do? I'm going to go and see Punch the Monkey.
Oh, no way. I hope he runs away from you.
It's a zoo, Gabby. You can't run away from me,
Have you been to Tokyo before?
I've never been to Tokyo.
It's an amazing place.
Everyone I've spoken to
it's amazing.
Has said it's like a different world. You're going to absolutely love it. And
it's the first place I'd ever been in my life, Gab, Olivia, where I actually felt that nobody spoke English.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to wherever you go to Spain or places like that, you think, or German and about Europe, you go, somebody will speak English. Tokyo was the first place where I felt, nobody speaks English here.
It's on my list as well. I've heard some very good things about it.
I'll give you some good recommendations when I get home, and I'll let you know how Punch the Monkey is. I can't wait to give everyone.
Have a brilliant time, I'll enjoy it.
Another freebie. Enjoy.
Another freebie. Right, still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Well, it looks like following news of yet another injury for Reece James, his place in the England World Cup squad must be in question. Hopefully he's okay and it's not too bad. Chelsea fans, want your calls this morning. Is it an absolute disaster for England's World Cup dream, and could it derail Chelsea's season 2? You know the drill. 03717 2233 444. Plenty of guests to come as well, including 2000 FA Cup winner Jody Morris, Premier League dart star and big Liverpool fan Stephen Bunting, and former world golf #1 Lee Westwood. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Max has a lot of professionals ahead of him before getting that opportunity. But one of the things that you can say about Arteta is that he has faith in him. He trusts him to come on with some minutes. And I know you mentioned about the Premier League, potentially if Arsenal can wrap it up a bit earlier. Yeah. Of course, it's looking like they're having that opportunity to. Then maybe that's where we'll see Max get in more minutes. But again, there are, of course, other players in front of him that do want to play.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? Because I could imagine Max thinking, look what I've done. You know, when am I starting? When am I starting? You know, that excitement and that hunger to go out and keep achieving at such a young age. We've seen it from Wayne Rooney at a young age. He's not going to want to be held back and, I might have to go and play under 18s on the weekend. It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very difficult, but Max is very grounded, has a grounded family who are, brilliant, and he's doing very well in the under-21s under Max Porter. So it's really a case of let's see how this season goes out, and then of course next season, if there are any opportunities that do come up, Arteta will know best. But if you want to play with the best, of course you then have to continue your development. If you want under the best, and Max is in the best place for.
I'm just trying to figure out, guys. Sorry, it's James, but what's it going to be like going into school today, Ali? I mean, like, what's going on? You're trying to do your work in your class, and everyone's talking about your goal. Like,
I know. But I tell you what, though, lads, it must be a nightmare to mark in the playground. You know what I mean?
Yes. Get the bags down, get the blazers down for goals.
Oh, aye. You must keep the ball for about 15 minutes in the playground, man.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Yes, here we go right enough. Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Rewards event. Save up to £500 on thousands of cars. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Here's what we've got coming up for you this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast. Premier League dart star Stephen Bunting will join us to build up to night 7 of the Premier League this week from Dublin. I bet there's an atmosphere over there. We'll ask Stephen if there is a problem with fans in darts after more controversy in Germany last weekend. And our 3 major championships in America, too many. Well, after another US-based tournament last week ended in a European golfer being booed, we'll ask former world #1 golfer Lee Westwood what can, if anything, can be done about this. All that and more. But now it's a huge night for Chelsea, who have it all to do against the European champions.
And they could see it get even worse here. Hakimi inserting down the right and into the area. Mayulu at the back post. Kvaratskhelia! It's 5! Through the goalkeeper! Chelsea has capitulated right at the end.
4-2. I said, I'll take 4-2 now. Just don't go 5-2.
But we actually were in the game for the last 16 minutes. And we throw it away. Absolutely throw it away.
What's that about? Why?
How we've lost this game. Look, it's an absolute disaster.
That's on me. You need to be better in moments. Setbacks, mistakes happen, but you have to stay calm in a moment, me included.
Gab, what you thinking? I just can't see it tonight, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at that. The third goal was a killer goal over in Paris, wasn't it, mate?
The reason why Chelsea will not go through is because of their defence and goalkeeper. I don't trust Fofana. I don't think Chalobah is at the level. Chelsea in the summer need a new goalkeeper and they need 2 top centre-halves alongside Colwell, who will be back next season. But Badiashile, Achimong, Chalobah, Fofana are not at the level, Ali. And you look at City buying Gahey, you look at Arsenal. Arsenal have got 4 better centre-halves than Chelsea have got. Yeah. So I look at Dembele tonight, I look at Barcola, Doué, Kvaratskhelia come on last week and got player of the match, man of the match. I just think they'll have too much for Chelsea going forward.
Do you know something? See, when you put it like that, you know, you look at the centre-back pairings and the options that Arsenal have compared to anybody in the league, really, and include Manchester City in that.
Yeah.
Because they've been playing cushion.
Mascara starts for Chelsea. So does Hincapié start for Chelsea at centre-half.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on, mate. There's something about Chelsea. There's just you know there's a level of performance in there, but you know there's not going to be any real consistency, don't you? I mean, you saw them at your place where they look, they look different class.
Fantastic.
But then they go to Paris and.
But 2 different teams, Ali. You look at Aston Villa going through a bit of a crisis of form, but PSG, they were there for their taking at times, but. They were just a threat, weren't they? Look at Dembele's goal, Ali.
Oh, mate.
On the counter-attack.
Well, it comes from right after the chance, doesn't it? I think is it Palmer as a shot.
Header.
Keeper makes a save, and bang, all the way you're losing a goal.
Yeah, but I just don't think Chelsea are going to win the big trophies or challenge for a Premier League with that goalkeeper and those 2 centre-halves, Ali, for me. If they can sort that out in the summer, then they've got a chance next season.
Yeah, okay, mate. They're going to have to overturn a 5-2 deficit if they want to progress in the Champions League. They'll have to do it without captain Reece James, who has suffered, sadly, another hamstring injury. One tactic Chelsea have adopted in the last 4 games is a ridiculous pre-match huddle around the centre circle. But good news for all football fans. Due to the backlash they've received, Renior says no more.
I think in terms of the huddle, I think it's been blown out of proportion, to be honest. It's a small thing amongst many serious things that we need to address, such as the massive game against PSG tomorrow. In terms of the huddle, the lads have always wanted to show unity and togetherness. I think they'll continue to do that. But what we don't want to do is antagonise or bring more noise on ourselves, and we'll make the decision on where we do that on the pitch tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to take a quick call, Gabby. Chris is a Chelsea fan and he dialed 03717 22 3344. Chris, good morning. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Gabby. Morning, Ali. How are we?
We're well, Chris.
We're
well. I'm going to say to you, mate, obviously, injury to Reece James, going over in PSG, defeat to Newcastle, getting fined, the huddle. It's been an eventful 10 days.
It feels like the final nail in the coffin for the season, to be fair. I think it's, like you said, the last 10 days with the defeat at PSG, the defeat at Newcastle, and then all the noise around the pre-match, the huddle. It's just everything great. And then Reece James' injury, it's a final nail in the coffin. And it all stems back to, you go right back to the beginning of January when we decided to get rid of Maresca. It is a circus, and it continues to be a circus with Clearlake in charge. It's just driving Chelsea fans up the wall, and again, we just never seem to be away from any noise. It's constant. It's always something at the minute. And Barcola, Doué, Dembele, Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, they stand no chance. Robert Sanchez, he's going to flap. I'm losing it.
Do you think that's your big problem, mate? Centre backs and goalkeeper.
I think so. I think the goalkeeper, he can't play out from the back. I think every time he gets the ball, Chelsea fans' hearts in their mouth. Is he going to flap? What's he going to do? Is he going to ping it straight to the forward? And then losing Colwill was massive.
Do you know what I've got, Chris? Do you know the problem I've got with Sanchez as well, though, is that when you're a goalkeeper, right, and this new way of playing from the back, if you're not great with your feet, don't be extra casual like you're an Edison or a Martinez or an Allison. The ball comes to him, Ali, and he's so slow and casual, and then panic because someone's pressing him, gives it away, and you're just like, if you're not great with your feet, maybe like Pope at Newcastle, do it at a faster pace.
It's just so frustrating. It happens every week, and I just don't understand why we haven't addressed that issue. We've spent millions on young, talented players, and yet we still have the same issues with the defence. And it's not. I think there was a caller earlier who said, long gone are the nights of the great Champions League comes back. If we still had, good old core of Terry, Lampard, Ballack, Napoli team 2012 feels like, I'm so gutted, boys.
Sadly, they seem a long way away, Chris. Anyway, fingers crossed. I hope you enjoy it tonight. You never know. It's been a bad week for Chelsea, not only because they were slapped 5-2 with PSG and then beaten home by Newcastle, but also because the club has been hit with a Premier League record fine of nearly £11 million and a suspended transfer ban for making secret payments. Here's our very own Nick Ellaby, who's going to explain it all to us.
Chelsea were found to have secretly paid various agents or companies £47.5 million around the transfers of Eden Hazard, David Luiz, Ramirez, Willian and Samuel Eto'o. The payments helped Chelsea secure those signings, and for some means there's now a cloud over the club's league titles in 2015 and 2017, the Champions League win in 2012, the Europa League in 2013, as well as FA Cup and League Cup wins in that period. Instead of a points deduction or a transfer ban, Chelsea have been given a £10.75 million fine. It is the largest ever dished out by the Premier League, and the club are banned from signing academy players for 9 months. Chelsea expected leniency because the new owners self-reported the secret payments they uncovered when Todd Boehly's Clearlake Capital Consortium bought the club from Roman Abramovich. The lack of sporting sanctions, though, raises questions over the outcome of the Premier League's case with Man City and their 115 charges.
Wonderfully explained, Nick. Well done, my old son. Be sure to stay tuned after 10 p.m, Jim, and I don't have any doubt that Simon will have an opinion on it too. 8:14. Stay with us.
Obviously, in the week, the Atletico Madrid disaster with Kinski, we have such a goalkeeping problem at our club, Natalie. You know, if you look at the free kick today, which is savable for me, And apparently the stat is, and I don't know how correct it is, but 68% of our goals have come from a Vicario mistake. Now, that alone is why we're in a relegation battle. Forget everything else. And I can't imagine how difficult it is, Pards, to have a number one that your team don't trust in. You know, how difficult is that for a team? And does that sap you full of confidence? You know, when you're looking at those boys and they're void of confidence, when they're seeing the mistake after mistake from, you know, their number one, even the guy that comes in, it can't help, can it?
No, it doesn't help. And, you know, after that awful game in Madrid, when obviously Kingsley made the errors and then gets substituted, and obviously the media made a big thing about Tudor not acknowledging him as he walked off. And then the goalie, the first team goalie, comes back in today. Again, you got to say that he's at fault for the goal. It's not a great situation, particularly for the defence, to have a goalie that's, you know, on edge. So I should think the result will have boosted him, because obviously he hasn't contributed to a defeat. So I think what you'd find is hopefully that the team will rally round that goalie tonight, Vicario, and make him feel a lot better.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Lovely.
All over it.
That's one of the classic albums of all time, that, you know.
What a tune, Ali.
Rumours, Fleetwood Mac, one of the classics. Yeah, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. A wee bit of Fleetwood Mac there on your Tuesday morning, as dreams have been a topic floating around the station this week. Darren Bent, Gabby, I don't know if you heard this, was on Drive yesterday evening and detailed one of the strange dreams that he had.
Do you want to tell everyone what you had a dream about last night?
Yeah, that was in Tron. Weird. Really
so
weird.
weird, and he's so strange.
Yeah, like
Did you wake up from that dream?
I did. Yeah, I did wake up from the dream, but it was weird because honestly, I can remember it like vividly.
Well, it was yesterday.
No, being in Tron.
Yeah.
Like,
what part were you playing in Tron?
I was just walking through the streets. I was digital world.
You must. I mean, knowing what your brain's like, you must have loved that.
I did a little bit, but then I almost erased myself because I fell off some cliff thing.
Yeah.
And then I got remade. Weird. Really weird. I don't know
Had
what.
you watched Tron recently? For you
No, not for a long time.
I wonder why you had that dream. Strange, isn't it?
Great film, they Tron.
I think those two have been dreaming for the past 6 years, to be honest with you.
I have some weird ones though, Ali.
Oh, so do I, mate.
It's the ones that you remember and you're like, whoa.
Aye.
But you get some, Ali, that you're like, oh, I really enjoyed that. I had one where I was back playing at Aston Villa and I was like in the change room with Unai Emery and I woke up and I was like, oh, damn. No, I'm not. I'm sat in a hotel.
But anyway, there was a few of us in Villa fans said the same thing, but it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Right,
Ali, wait, enough about my dreams, Ali. Have you ever heard of a sleep paralysis demon? It appears that someone has been thinking about you a lot.
I've had that.
To the point where you're haunting them at night, Ali, and it's terrifyingly accurate.
I've got to say, Flex, the way he's sleeping, you're absolutely incredible. I tell you, absolutely tremendous. The way he's just
in my old house, right, which I've told the listeners this before, my old house was haunted, mate, right, I'm telling you. And I used to have a dream, when I say, I must have had it about 15, 20, 25 times, where I was sleeping, obviously, but I was awake and I couldn't move. I had sleep paralysis. And somebody, I'm not winding you up, mate, somebody came into the room in my sleep paralysis and they would walk round the bed and I would be terrified, right? But I couldn't move, mate. And I swear to God, I could smell alcohol off their breath. Now, the boys have been in more of jokes, right? See, you're not going to say anything. You're not going to say anything. But you know something? I used to have that dream at least, I don't know, 15, 20 times a year in the old house. Same dream, mate. I know.
But even when you hear about people that are sleepwalkers, Ali.
Oh, I know, mate.
It's incredible, isn't it? That'll scare the life out of me.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it is unbelievable.
I think Simon Clare sleepwalks as well, Ali, at home.
Well, let's ask him. I think it's time to go to Coral. Why don't we ask him?
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
There he is there, Simon Clare. A very good morning.
Hello, Simon.
Good morning, good morning. Listen, I've had a dream. I had a dream that Ally McCoist starred in a film with Michael Keaton, Brian Cox, and Robert Duvall. I'm not entirely sure. Steve-O was abusing me yesterday, saying, "How have you never heard of this before?" He never stops talking about his great friend Robert Duvall.
See what I said to you, Gabby? Right, listen, you gave me a bit of stick in the radio yesterday. Those two have been giving me all morning.
But you know what, Ali? I can't believe I called it Sober Glory as well.
Yes. I thought it
Shout
was
them in my mind, Simon.
I was searching for a film called Sober Glory on IMDb. Thinking, what the hell's Gabby on about? But that's too much of a coincidence. But what I would say is, and I don't know why I've never done this before, and listeners, it gets 6.2 out of 10 on the IMDb website, which is a good film.
That's
the
not
trailer
bad.
is fantastic, Ali. I mean,
it's amazing.
You're working with legendary, and we've got to catch up with this another time. So you don't
100%, mate.
Simon, I've told the boys a story. I know, and he tragically, it was a great age, sadly just passed away, Robert Duvall. They did a tribute to him at the Oscars the other night there. What a top man, Simon. What a top man. It was the experience of a lifetime, man. He was brilliant.
And you look like you might actually be able to act a bit.
He done well. I don't think he's allowed to watch the film at home anymore, though, Simon.
Well,
it's not allowed on in the McCoist household.
By the way,
I mean, obviously, we've only seen the kiss scene. I'm sure there's more to it than just kissing, is there?
To be fair, it was done perfectly the first time, but my fellow actress kept wanting to do it. She says, "No, that's not good enough. We'll have to do it again."
Come here, you.
Take 37.
Take 2,411, Simon.
Okay, then.
Simon, help me. Let's move on to Arsenal tonight and football tonight, please.
Oh God, yeah. Listen, well, Arsenal are in good shape. You know, they've 2-7 to win tonight. Obviously, they got the 1-0 win from the away leg. They're 10s on to get through. And if you look through the 6 British sides, Arsenal the most certain to get through to that last 8. Let's hope they do. Obviously, I mean, it'd be upset if Bayer Leverkusen were to win that. They're 9-1 to win effectively and get through. So they're probably the in safest place. I mean, do you give City any chance? They're 7-2 to get through and turn this around. It's 1-6 Real Madrid.
Well, Simon, it's funny, mate, because I said to Gabby, I was at the first leg, obviously, in the Bernabeu, and then I was at London Stadium, and I didn't see anything at the London Stadium that would suggest, listen, they're a great side and anything could happen, but I would have to say it would be an unbelievable upset.
I can't see it. Yeah. City teams of the past, better defensively, but not this City team.
Yeah. I mean, you could almost, to be fair, it's one of those, you could almost see City attacking, and Real Madrid hitting on the break and winning the game. I mean, Real Madrid are 5-1, the draw 4-1, City 2-5. So I think
Simon, by the way, did you know that in the home leg, I think Real Madrid were as big. They certainly were 12-5. They might even have reached 5-2. I don't think Real Madrid could have been 5-2 or 12-5 against anybody in the planet at home.
No.
I totally agree, and it was bizarre because I felt if it was 3 or 4 years ago, Man City, you'd have totally understood it.
Yeah.
But this Man City, it was amazing confidence by British bookmakers, or maybe assuming that the punters would all back Man City.
Yes.
And Real Madrid are now, as always, looking very good likely to get to the last 8, and they're still fifth favourites though for the title.
What about all the English teams to win tonight? Not win the game, not to go through to win the game.
Yeah, okay, good call. Chelsea are even money to beat PSG. They're 7-1 to go through again. Got to turn around a 3-goal deficit here. So £2 onto Man City. So that'd be sort of barely £3, and then onto. I mean, it's probably at best 3-1, 3-1 to win the. I mean, Arsenal 2-7, City 2-5, evens Chelsea. So,
3-1 for all three English teams to win the game tonight.
Yeah, because £2.
Wow,
£2.
Simon, shocking odds. I need more than that. I need 10-1s, mate.
Yeah, it is. It's about 3. Well, no, but you're right. But the funny is, the odds say 3-1. But to your point, don't place that bet. It sounds really bad value. Actually, because I think Arsenal will win, won't they? And
you think
Chelsea?
Although
City
I have to say to you, Simon, I mean, I watched the game. Leverkusen weren't too shabby, and clearly there was a questionable penalty given towards the end of that match, mate. But here's my question for you. Here's one for you, Simon. Right? I mean, normally at this time of the season, if there's a team going really, really well, whether it's, I think it was Liverpool last year, whatever it may be, we'll always go, right, quadruple this and trebles this. There's not been a lot of talk about this fantastic opportunity that Arsenal have. Is that going to all change if they win at the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the odds on the quadruple are something. Again, it feels like artificially short at 20-1, but that reflects the fact that they're obviously they're going to win the. They're odds on 8-11 to lift the trophy against City, who even money at the weekend, the Carabao Cup final. They're favourites for the FA Cup. They're 5-2 favourites for the Champions League, and they're now long odds on. And only Arsenal fans are probably still windy about the Premier League. It feels. I think most neutrals feel that they're now home and host. So
it was a big weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, massive weekend. But I suppose you're right. I mean, it's not inconceivable. I suppose Arsenal fans, and I'm one of them. Obviously, I'm one of them. We've had an FA Cup victory, a couple of, but we haven't won the Premier League for a long time. We've never won the Champions League. So I think we take 1, 2. The idea of getting all 4 just seems so inconceivable.
What would
and yet
the treble be? Like Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. That would be one that I'd back. I think the Champions League, Bayern Munich showed 6-0 against Atalanta how good they are. PSG will be tough. I think that's the hard one for Arsenal to win.
Yeah, I mean, you're only talking about 5-1 the treble because Arsenal are so long odds on to win the Premier League. They're 8-11 on the weekend, and then I think they're something like 5-2 for the FA Cup, or even shorter. So you're right. I mean, again,
they're going to be short for the FA Cup as well because Liverpool are playing City as well.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So they're probably even shorter. Probably even shorter than 5-1 the treble. So the Champions League is the big one, but. And I mean, look, tomorrow night, I think Liverpool, Galatasaray is probably the best chance for with Spurs very unlikely to get through. Newcastle, it's going to be tough. They're 9-4 though. It's 1-1, I suppose, going away, but 2-7 Barcelona to get through. Liverpool 3's on against Galatasaray. I was actually speaking to some of the backroom team at Liverpool yesterday, and they said that none of the staff who went to Galatasaray had ever experienced anything quite like the fierceness of the atmosphere and the old used to be that was where they had the welcome to hell banner many years ago, didn't they? But I mean, to get away from there with that 1-0 defeat, I think back at home with no Galatasaray fans because of the issues they had with the Juventus game.
Do you though, Simon and Ali? Do you, with your Spurs, do you rest players tomorrow night?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, there's a good
in the
shout.
Relegation battle.
There is a good shout because what a game that is at the weekend, isn't it, Simon?
Forest.
What a game that is.
Oh. Game of the season.
Gabby, it's a good shout. Something to look out for. Whether they just sacrifice the Champions League side now and just concentrate on the Forest game. I mean, I think Spurs fans would say probably 2. I mean, it's just to set the scene. I think it's 7-4 West Ham, 7-4 Spurs, 9-4 Nottingham Forest in the relegation battle for that one remaining spot. And so, it couldn't be closer. That game could be a make or break this weekend.
Yes. You better believe it, Simon. They're going to sum into the season, that's for sure. Thanks for your
time,
I'm
off to watch
the
film, A Shot for Glory. Can't wait.
Thank you, Simon.
Go on too long, Ali.
What? How far in is the kiss, Ali?
Right, we're going
22 minutes in.
Well done, guys. Coming up, we'll launch a brand new feature. Forget Jet Sterling. We're flying away on Air Agbonlahor adventure. Stay with us, guys.
Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for landing. It's coming home.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Ruben Amorim was a winning manager, but clearly not the right fit for Man United, irrespective of the fact he was a European winning manager because he won the Portuguese league.
Right.
So I'm kind of with Roy, but in the...
You're with Roy in a certain way. I mean, he's not doing anything to rule himself out of contention,
No, I know, but also what Roy's picture is trying to extrapolate it. And I know there's a lot of cash here around Steve Holland and so on and so forth, but he was part of the England setup that flattered to deceive, that didn't win anything when they could have done. So whilst he might be an excellent coach, we're still looking at a bunch of people, with respect of being Michael Carrick being an elite footballer, that as from a management point of view, have got what on their resume? So it's part of the conversation, not the only part of it. But if Carrick goes to the end of the season and United finish third, or even, dare I say it, catch City and finish second, then there's going to be a clamour of people suggesting that he's proven himself, that he's had 18, 19 games, and out of that 18, 19 games, or however many he's had, he's done X, Y, Z. I mean, they are far better for him being there, but that's because common sense has prevailed. You haven't got a manager that seems to want to riddle himself into cul-de-sacs and play a group of players that can't play the way he wants them to play. You've got a manager that's ultimately under no real pressure, because everyone thinks that United were... The pressure will come now. Now United are third. Now the pressure's now, because everyone's going to expect... United fans are going to go, you better finish inside the top four now, because you're there now.
But yeah, I take on board what Simon's saying, Martin, but if he secures Champions League football for United, what exactly is going to rule him out?
Yeah,
What's going to rule him against?
I get it. I do. Roy's a respected voice, and I do take the point that this group, pretty well the same group of players, finished quite low down the table.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the taxman at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something, because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Junior Gab. I was just treating myself a wee kiwi fruit. You like a kiwi fruit?
Oh, lovely. All over it, mate.
Oh, lovely. Nice juicy one. Just cut it open there.
You deserve it, Alistair.
Oh, I enjoyed that. Thanks, pal.
Hard-working man like yourself.
Absolutely.
You
This is
deserve
talkSPORT Breakfast. Well, Arnold Clark's Rewards event. Get £500 off your next car. Excuse me. Pardon me. This week only. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, Gabby, go on and get off that phone. Just for 2 minutes. You go off that phone. Right, that's again. An hour ago, we reopened the debate as to whether Max Dowman's last-minute goal against Everton was an iconic Premier League moment. There is no way it's an... Listen, I tell you why it's iconic, because it's the youngest goal scorer and it's a good goal, right? That's why it's iconic. The most important goal was Gyökeres's goal. Where are you, Gabby, on that, mate?
100%, Ali. And, like, honestly, the abuse that I got yesterday, mate, I'm thinking, like, did we say something wrong? Like, it was an iconic goal for Arsenal and for the Premier League in the sense of, like, it's the youngest Premier League goal scorer.
100%.
I get that. But in 20 years' time, no one's going to say, oh, do you remember when this player scored, Max Dowman scored the second goal in a 2-0 win against Everton? The Rooney goal that I mentioned was Arsenal. Rooney, 16, Arsenal Invincibles, defence.
Yep.
Not bothered about playing against these top defenders. Seaman in goal, bang, top corner, crossbarring in.
Absolutely.
Aguero, their iconic moment for me.
Aguero's is the iconic goal. We're going to get a view on it. Joel's an Arsenal fan. Joel's give us a call on 03717 223344. Joel, good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How you doing?
We're doing well, Joe.
Very well, mate.
Did you have it down as an iconic goal, mate?
To be honest, in terms of the quality of the goal, no, definitely not. It's not an iconic goal. Compared to, say, Rooney's goal, for example, Rooney's goal was non-debatable. The most or more iconic goal than Max Dowman. But one thing I would disagree on is, like, don't downgrade Max Dowman's goal. It may not be sensational towards everyone, like, say, Gabby or anyone else, but to him, mate.
Oh, of course.
Oh, absolutely. We're not
saying
for a minute doing that. We are not for a minute doing that.
Fantastic feeling.
All we're saying is we're not sure it's really iconic. What I'm saying to you is, I'll tell you this. I think it's a good goal and it's really well taken. And for the V-man, it's fantastic. But it wasn't the most important goal of the game for you.
Definitely not.
So tell me, Joe. I said to Simon earlier on there at Coral, nobody is talking about the quadruple. Really? Are you? Have you got a chance?
Listen, a lot of people think Arsenal fans are all Arsenal fans are delusional. Mate, I can tell you, it's just Arsenal fan TV that are delusional, or people that are saying this. Quadruple, it's as far as belief, but I don't think so. I would say all I want right now is the Premier League or Champions League, or both.
One of the big two. Yeah.
I want both.
Yep.
Yeah. Carabao Cup, like, it will just be an add-on. But Champions League, Premier League, I definitely want those two.
Yeah, I think for me as well, Joel, going back to the Max Dowman goal, I mean, I was 19 when I scored on my debut for Aston Villa. I know that feeling, never mind being 16 still at school. Fantastic achievement for him. Definitely not going to downplay it. The composure as well to go and score the goal. But people get carried away and they start saying he was the same as Rooney, the same as Aguero. I'm saying let's calm down. It's not 100%. Iconic like that. Does that make sense, mate?
100%. There's no doubt about it. Listen, Joel, we're going to have to move on. Thanks for your time, pal.
Top man, Joel.
Really appreciate the call. Thanks to Joel. Remember, Arsenal's next two games are live on talkSPORT this week. Leverkusen tonight and the Carabao Cup final against City on Sunday. Just a quick one, Gab, on that cup final on Sunday.
Oh.
I think that has absolutely turned into a must-win for City.
Oh, yes.
Because I think if Arsenal win that, I mean, the confidence it gives Arsenal.
Arsenal win, Ali, for me. I just think, like, they know how important that game is.
I know.
And after that game, I just think when I look at Man City, Ali, I just think Gabriel and Saliba are going to be so aggressive on Haaland, the form that he's been in. And I think it's going to get, like, spicy on the touchline, Ali, I do. I know they're friends, Arteta and Guardiola, but I think everything's on the line in this game.
You might be right, mate. Now listen up, England fans. It's time for a bit of this.
Welcome aboard this Air Agbonlahor flight to the World Cup. Destination America, calling at Mexico and Canada.
It has gone through, so it's organised. We can travel by plane.
Left my blanket headphones on the plane again.
Harry Kane, history maker and record breaker.
Who will Tuchel pick? Will it be Rodgers or Bellingham? Saka or Palmer? And who on earth is playing in defence?
Of course, our fans and you guys, you wanna map out all the way and the results. Good luck with that.
No, I've done it. I think so. I think they're somewhere in Norway.
Thank you for flying Air Agbonlahor. Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for landing. It's coming home.
It's coming home. Listen, I met Thomas Tuchel, had a wee chat with Thomas Tuchel over at the Draw in Washington. I've got to say, Gabby, impressive guy. Really likeable guy.
You want him, don't you, Ali, managing your country
in
the
do.
World Cup?
I'll tell you right now, you do.
Yes.
You actually do. Now, ahead of the final England announcement, before this summer's World Cup, we invite you to step on board Air Agbonlahor. We'll take you on a journey around the country to collect the best of what England has to offer before setting off to America. Will it be Birmingham for Morgan Rogers or Manchester for Phil Foden? Who will be getting on when we stop in London? We're going to hand over the founder of Air Agbonlahor, a man who won 3 England caps, Birmingham's finest. Gabby, here's my first question, mate.
Yes.
Who do you think's going to get left behind?
So we're talking about the when the squad's being named on Friday, Ali, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm going to finish with the 2 big players. First of all, one that I think will be expecting to miss out, Louis Skelly. Only 14 appearances in the Premier League this season, Ali, out of a possible 31.
Yep.
Not had anywhere near enough game time. Lewis Hall and O'Reilly will be ahead of him.
Yes.
I also look at Trent. I want him to be called up, but like you mentioned earlier, maybe the manager doesn't fancy him.
That's what I
think. He done well against Man City in the first half, defensively as well against Doku, but maybe he misses out again as well. A player that I think misses out, Ali, but goes with the squad, Jude Bellingham. I think it's the last squad before the World Cup. I don't think he's going to be involved to play because of limited game time with his injury.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a big part of it in the summer. I reckon the manager takes him for 3-4 days, be around the squad, and then maybe gets sent back to Real Madrid for the rest of the international break.
Yep.
Because it's the last squad available to get that team bonding with players that are going to be in it in the summer, Ali. Then I go to big players that might miss out if the manager looks at recent game time. I look at Marcus Rashford, Ali.
Yes.
Last 10 games, unused sub, 20 minutes, 67 minutes, 26 minutes, 17 minutes, 0 minutes, 0 minutes. 2 games injured, so he missed out on them. Then 66 minutes as well. So Rashford's game time, Ali, 221 minutes out of a possible 900 plus minutes in the last 10 games. Not enough. Rafinha, who he's fighting with on that left-hand side, scored a hat-trick in his last La Liga game. Marcus Rashford, touch and go for me, but because the manager likes him, Ali, I think he will still just about make it, but he's got to be careful with game time.
Gabby, I'm with you. You're right. I mean, he's going to struggle getting to that side, to be fair. That front three is amazing, but I still think the manager likes him.
Certain players like him and Gordon, I think will be on it. And this player for me, Ali, I don't think he's going to be called up on Friday. So Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Because Phil Foden as well, game time. Last 9 games, Ali. 16 minutes against West Ham. Unused sub against Real Madrid. Newcastle FA Cup, 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Forest, 77 minutes. Leeds, unused sub. Newcastle, 3 minutes. Fulham, 71. Liverpool, unused sub. And Spurs, 2 minutes. 0 goals in 15 appearances in 2026. If I'm the manager, I'm saying, no. You need to do more in training, whatever you need to do to get back into that starting team at Manchester City. You don't deserve to make this England squad. And he sets a sort of example to all the other players who are not getting game time.
It's going to be one of these squads, not this one coming up, I think he's big one, where the debate will rage on for a long time because there's going to be some disappointed great players. That's what I think, mate.
And this manager, Ali, is not one maybe like Southgate or other managers that the pressure of the media. Oh, it's Phil Foden. He has to be on the plane no matter what because we know what he can do. We know what he can do. If I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'm like, yeah, I see what he can do, and he's not doing it. He's not playing. When he does play, he's not performing. So just because you're Phil Foden, a massive name and a massive talent, If you're not playing football like I've just read out, Ali, you can't blame the manager not picking you.
You got to be playing, mate. Okay, pal, thanks for that. Going to make sure you listen to talkSPORT this Friday. As Thomas Tuchel names his England squad for the 2 friendlies against Uruguay and Japan later this month. And believe me, there's plenty to look out for. And if you want to enter the World Cup fever, there's a reminder about our latest podcast, How to Win the World Cup, which is out every Thursday morning. Hosted by Matt Ford, it features a rotation of stars, including Emmanuel Petit, Brad Friedel, as they uncover the secrets and strategies that got into lifting sport's greatest trophy. Now, moving on swiftly, a darts player's been made to play too much. Gerwin Price thinks so. We're going to put that to the most popular man in the sport, Stephen Bunting, next.
Martin Szoboszlai post-match, we have to waken up, because if we carry on like this, we should be happy with the Conference League. I don't know why this is happening. I honestly don't know. I didn't hear boos, but we can understand them. We are not performing how we should. Where's he going with it all? I mean, there's general bafflement. I noticed Szoboszlai a few times just said, I just don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Suggestions they're sort of sleepwalking out of the Champions League. I mean, that's where there's the concern at the moment. I felt maybe yesterday perhaps, I know you've got to make these changes, Jim, haven't you? But, you've got to finish the job off, and maybe people could have started that game and then came off. Konate not starting, Kirkez, there's a debate, Robertson is who's best. I thought Robertson should have attacked that ball much better at the end of the game. They were just doing enough. Galatasaray looks like it's more important on the horizon. You can't pick and choose. That game's coming up now. It can still be, Jim, a good end to the season for Liverpool. They're still in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup, huge game against Man City. It's all there for them, but it don't seem to be at boiling point. I'm not happy with what's the name, Szoboszlai playing right back. What a great talent he is. But no, I don't think there's something wrong with the balance, Jim, and they're just doing enough. Whether some players are coming to the end of their time now at Liverpool, and all of the Isak not settling, still really haven't seen him. But as I say, I still look at them as a danger, Liverpool. If they get their act together, if they could just, and you think they've turned the corner, and every time you think that, there's another bad result, and that certainly was a bad result for them yesterday.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Love it, Gab. Love it. This is talkSPORT Breakfast.
Las Vegas.
Lovely. 8:51. Excuse me, Alan Gabby with us this morning. Only one reason we're playing that, you know fine well why. Joining us now is 2024 Masters champion, die-hard Liverpool fan, currently hunting down a Premier League player spot. He's got the best walkout in the game. It's the one and only Stephen, the Bullet Bunting. Stephen, how are you, mate?
Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah. Very good, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. The first thing I've got to say, now you can tell me if I'm wrong, was it Germany? I watched it, where the referees actually had to have a go at the crowd to calm them down.
Yeah, no, obviously it happens from time to time, and yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, and it's a very small number of people that do it. But yeah, the whistling when you're thrown for a double, when you're travelling all that way to go over there, I understand now why Luke Littler doesn't want to go over there. But yeah, that's the first time I've ever experienced it that bad, and yeah, thankfully the referee stepped in and was able to continue the game.
Stephen, tell me, there was a bit of talk during the week there, and Gerwyn Price came out that in his opinion, maybe the guys are getting asked to play too much. I don't know. You tell me, are they getting asked to play too much, or is it more the travelling that's involved?
I think it's a bit of everything, to be honest, but for me, you're an elite sportman, so you can pick and choose your tournaments. You don't have to play in everything. It's down to your own personal preference, and these players, sometimes they won't do the tour, but they'll play exhibitions, so they're always still playing. They're still on, obviously, all over the world. So yeah, I don't understand obviously I get tired as well. It is a long tour, but it's a rewarding tour as well. So the more you play, the more money you get paid. So it's beneficial to play in as much as you can. And then you're chasing the rankings as well. You need to keep your rankings as high as you possibly can.
Of course.
Which is important for me this year because I've dropped down slightly. So yeah, I'll be playing in near enough everything, to be honest.
Stephen, after proving it in Belfast and making the semis in Nottingham, do you feel at the moment you're playing the best darts of your career?
I did towards the back end of last year. I mean, I've been a bit slack this year on my doubles, but I don't know what I can put that down to be honest, because there's nothing that I've done differently. So these things happen. The players are getting better, but I was just happy to be able to get the wins early this year in the Premier League, not like last year. I think they come in my 9th week. So yeah, I'm playing quite well and being able to get them wins, but it'll be important to do that on the tour as well.
You mentioned, or Gabby mentioned, the good performance in Belfast, Stephen. What's it going to take, I mean, in the Premier League to qualify? And has Johnny Clayton's form impressed you?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's been playing fantastic for the last probably 12 months. He had a great World Championships. And yeah, he is one of the best players in the world. I think he's currently ranked at number 5, so that proves everything. People were talking about who shouldn't be in the Premier League and who should be, but I kept tight-lipped, to be honest. I just wanted to be in. I wasn't worried about anyone else. But now it's down to me to prove that I deserve to be there. I've already won a night, a semis the other week, and yeah, I've got to keep putting big performances in. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the Premier League, and I've put myself in a position now where now I'm looking at the top 4 and not looking at staying off the bottom.
You got Luke Littler in the quarterfinals in Dublin on Thursday. Might be a silly question, but do you approach playing him different to others?
No, definitely not. I mean, he is the best player in the world, but his Premier League form, he'll tell you himself, has not been his best. So yeah, maybe I can catch him cold. I think we're on 2nd game, so pretty early. But yeah, I feel fresh. I've had a day off now. Do me washing, repack, and then we go off again. We play Premier League, obviously. We travel tomorrow. We play Thursday. Then we travel to Belgium. I think we've got a European tour. Then we go to Berlin, so we've got a few days in Berlin, and then Berlin next week. So I'm away from the family as well. People don't see this side of it. You're constantly on the road.
Yes.
But like I said, yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm there to provide for them, and yeah, just want to play well for my fans, my sponsors, and my management and my family.
Stephen, just a quick one. I might as well depress you even further now. Liverpool, I mean, I'm up there on Wednesday. I fancy them to win on Wednesday, but disappointing result and performance at the weekend. I mean, I'd seen Spurs 3 or 4 times, and I'll be honest with you, I mean, I know nothing about it, but I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that Tottenham can get anything at Anfield. Lo and behold, they score late on with Richarlison. What do you think, though? What do you think of the team overall the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and do you fancy them? I fancy them to beat Galatasaray on Wednesday. You have the same opinion, mate?
Well, it was before the weekend. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, to be honest. They've come off took the foot off the gas. I don't know. People are talking about partying and stuff. I don't know whether that's part of the problem, but yeah, they're just not the same team as last year. We seem to be going backwards a lot, and it's boring to watch. I'm in a fan group with quite a few celebrities and stuff, Liverpool group, and they're already talking for Slot's head, and I think it may be a bit too early for that. But if there's a manager out there who can get the best out of the team, and we were champions last year, and we've increased our squad. We've got better players, but we've got worse. Yeah. So that's a problem with management, in my opinion. And if they can't get the best out of them players, then we need to look elsewhere.
Interesting times ahead, Paul. Listen, Stephen, thanks for joining us. Very best luck for the upcoming games.
Thank you very much.
Do well, mate. That was Premier League darts player 2024 Masters champion Stephen Bunting. Big Liverpool fan as well, Stephen. Right, still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
Okay, we have got a mega last hour of the show to bring you. Former world #1 golfer Lee Westwood. Westie's going to be with us, looking forward to that. Did you think there's a place for growing hostile atmosphere at golf events? I couldn't believe that at the darts here. I just had a look at it, Gabby, man. I mean, imagine a referee attempting to tell a darts crowd.
I know, imagine Ali, they'd end up doing it even more, wouldn't they?
Of course they would. And we'll continue to look forward to a massive of Champions League football and talkSPORT. Jody Morris, looking forward to speaking to him. He's going to be with us next to discover whether Liam Rosenior's eccentric methods have a touch of the Gianluca Vialli's about them.
Shut up!
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Quite a weekend, but at the bottom, and that's where we're focusing our attention at this precise moment. Burnley and Wolves look as good as gone, of course, don't they? But draws all round for Forest at home to Fulham, Leeds away at Palace, West Ham against Manchester City, and Spurs at Liverpool. Simon, psychologically, has anyone's point moved the needle for belief?
Well, you look at the West Ham and the Forest. I mean, the Forest obviously didn't play well in Europe last week, I didn't think, but they looked like they were fighting. And West Ham certainly are fighting. But if I'm West Ham and I go and take a point of Man City, that you expected to react after the beating they took at Real Madrid and needed to react to keep themselves into the Premier League race, and they get a point, and yet they still find themselves at the end of the weekend in the bottom three, I think there's an element of dispiriting about that. But by the same token, Nuno Espirito Santo will have built up this morale inside the club because their recent performances have been commendable. They've really dragged themselves from the brink and the precipice of being completely written off by most of us into a position now where a lot of us, or a lot of people, will think they can get out in spite of either the irony of Nottingham Forest because of the managerial circumstance, or at the expense of Tottenham Hotspur and all that goes with that, getting relegated. But I still feel, and I'm not going to change my view, that West Ham might find themselves still getting relegated. And I do think, for whatever reason, and I'm happy to be wrong, and I may well be, often am, that some way Tottenham are going to find their way through, and not because of the manager, because the players and the realisation of the players. It will be. We often talk about players in dressing rooms that can get teams across lines.
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Okay, 5 minutes past 9. It's Tuesday the 17th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, Ronald Clark's Rewards event. Save up to £500 on thousands of cars. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, from a 5-2 capitulation in Paris to hurling around a match official to now suffering a record fine, it's been non-stop for Chelsea this week.
Mayuna at the back post, Kvaratskhelia, it's fine! They were so much in it, they fell behind, got the equaliser. Chelsea just fell off a cliff.
The last 15-20 minutes are crazy in many aspects, and that's on me.
And it's finished here, Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1, the goal by Anthony Gordon settled it.
If you've got a lot of young players, you sometimes need an on the head. You need a Thiago Silva or someone in there, just to sort of calm it down.
You've got 75 metres in your own half to do a huddle. So why are you doing it on top of the referee?
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball.
Yeah, that's a bit bizarre.
With Reece, he's felt something in his hamstring, really frustrating and disappointing one for us. We don't know the full extent of that injury.
A decision has now been made and sanctions imposed. Chelsea accepting fines totalling £10.75 million, according to this Premier League statement, for those breaches.
Okay, we're going to bring in someone now who's played along some top players. Gianfranco Zola, Ruud Gullit, obviously won the 99 FA Cup, former assistant to Frank Lampard at the Bridge. It's Jody Morris. Jody, thanks for joining us.
Morning, Jody.
Morning, mate.
Morning, Coisty. Morning, Gabs.
Morning, mate.
Jody, first thing I've got to ask you, mate, I was following you on that your boxing thing, your charity boxing thing, man. That looked brilliant. But I would imagine a lot of hard work went in it before it.
Oh yeah, that was the hardest bit, to be honest, Coisty. Then the fight, it was sparring with some proper boxers. Well, I'll say proper boxers. I never went in with any like sort of top pros, but I certainly had a couple of hidings from some people that were decent, that were quite handy. Do you know what I mean? That was the hardest thing to do with it, to be honest, was the training and taking a few hidings. Yeah.
Looked good, mate. Listen, we touched on it in the introduction there. I mean, it's been some week for Chelsea, really. I mean, going over there, they were in the game over in Paris. All of a sudden, they lose. Goalkeeper makes an error. Before you know it, you're 5-2 down. They've been fined £10.5 million. Huddles in the middle of the pitch. It's been non-stop this week, mate, hasn't it?
Oh, mate. I mean, even just on the Paris one, I mean, you're right. At 2-2, he was equal to them and just as good, and was looking, if anything, maybe the ones to go on to score the next goal. And then obviously a mistake from the goalkeeper, and then we kind of capitulated a little bit. But yeah, and then the huddle thing, I mean, I just wanted to get underneath my sofa when I was looking at it. I was so cringing. Like, I mean, it's the word. Like,
hey, you'd have seen me underneath it, mate, will you?
Honestly, but that's what I'm saying is, like, anyone in football looking at it is, you don't even have to be in football. I mean, you look at it going, what on earth are you doing? And the fact that I think one of Liam's assistants got warned about it and told not to do it before the game or something, and then they still went out and done it. And then hearing the words "respect the ball" and stuff like that, I mean, it's so unnecessary. That's the problem, is that it's just unnecessary. That's what winds you up even more. And then obviously with these fines and stuff like that, in fairness to the new regime, that's got nothing to do with them. I mean, it's all stuff that's happened before. I mean, if anything, they're quite lucky because we've had a ban before under the previous regime, like which we had a transfer ban when we first went in there. So,
Jody,
if anything, they've got away lucky with that.
So what I said yesterday, Jody, I said that Newcastle missed a trick. They won the game at full time. If I was a Newcastle player, I'm getting all the players in, going to the middle of the pitch and doing a huddle for banter. Like, because you can't do that.
Eddie Howe's too classy for that. Gabs, Eddie Howe's too classy.
He's a level above Agbonlahor, Jody. You know what I mean? He's got far too much class.
Yeah, Gabs is always looking for that little angle, isn't he, to try and wind people up. Like the Arsenal fans at the minute. He's got them.
I know.
He's got them at the moment, isn't he?
Me and Obi Mikel, we got him, Jody.
Jody, tell me, mate. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of Chelsea players. I mean, I'm gutted straight away. Reece James, if he's done that hamstring, the lad just, I mean, nobody on the planet's doubting his talent. England are a better team with him in it. Chelsea definitely a better team in it. Just can't keep fit, mate.
Nah, mate, and for me, Coisty, that's the worst news we've had all week. I mean, listen, I know it's never good going down 5-2 at Paris and obviously the silliness, but losing Reece James, if we are going to lose him for a length of time, for me is the worst bit of news possible, because he was doing great. He was looking like the world-class player that he is. For me, when he's fit and firing on all cylinders, I think he's the best right-back. If he was played in the right-back position every week. But yeah, listen, I'm devastated for the lad if it is as serious as what maybe reports are at the moment. But obviously we're just fingers crossed at the moment that it's not too bad. And just even for the lad, like he's been through so much with his injuries, and with England coming up in the summer, it's just devastating news.
Jody, when you see Chelsea at the moment, you look at goalkeepers not doing it and centre-halves, especially with Colwell out injured, you're not sure about the centre-halves. It baffles me when you look at the history of Chelsea. You know, you look at the JTs you know well, Carvalho. I remember playing against Alex, Brazilian Alex, at centre-back, such a strong defender. Peter Cech for so many years. Is that what Chelsea are missing to really go to the next level?
I think so. I think if you ask any Chelsea fan at the moment, or anyone that's been kind of watching us for a long time, like you just said, is we can have young players all you like, but particularly in that sort of position as well, you'd love a little bit of experience. We see how well Thiago Silva done for the club when he came in. And everyone thought that he was at the end of his career. And you're right, Gabs. And even you're talking about, obviously, your JT Carvalho's and stuff like that, your Gary Cahill's, but even Alex and that, he wouldn't even get in the team some weeks. Do you know what I mean? He weren't even one of the main centre-halves. Rudiger, when he first come to the club, he wouldn't get in the team. Like, do you know what I mean? So I do think that it's a shame that it seems like the project or whatever it is that they have at the moment does seem to restrict bringing in anyone of any sort of experience. So it's a shame, because I think they actually do help bring on the younger players quicker and actually make them better players.
I think you're right, mate. I think there's got to be a balance. I mean, some of the young players coming through have been fantastic. I look at that academy that I think you're involved in the under-18 side, which won the quadruple. You get boys like Reece James, Mark Gay, Conor Gallagher. But at the same time, Jody, there must be a kind of experienced heads around them just to bring them along. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be a concern.
Yeah, and also just to not even just to like sort of like bring them along on the pitch. It's even stuff off the pitch as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because you can't, even if you're a staff member or anyone who's looking after the players, you can't be with the players as much as their teammates can. Yeah. So you need your old heads that are not only there to keep their feet on the ground, but also give them a kick up the backside that maybe hits different. You know what it's like. If you've got an older pro that gives you a kick up the backside, it's a little bit different than what the manager can do. They can even take it a little bit further at times, and that's at times needed. You know what I mean? So the guidance that older players and senior pros can give you, I think, is invaluable.
What do you think tonight then, Jody? Because we know it's going to be tough. We know Chelsea can score goals, but that PSG attack just scares me, mate, with Chelsea's defence.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that, listen, we've already dealt with PSG in the Club World Cup, albeit I know it's not a tournament that's quite the same as the Champions League, but and how we performed against them before the mistake. Don't get me wrong, I think you have to be right at it to sort of beat this PSG team. But they've proved already themselves this year, PSG, that they're not quite the team that they were last year. I think they're beatable for sure, whether we can bring back the 3-goal deficit. And you're right, we do look vulnerable at conceding goals, and sometimes we bring that on ourselves, like we see with the 3rd goal. But we're totally more than capable of going to beat them. It's just whether we can bring back that deficit.
Jody, just a quick one, mate, before you let you go. You'll obviously be delighted, but I think we all are. Frank Coventry, there will be a bit of a period maybe about 5-6 weeks ago, they kind of stuttered. Middlesbrough look as though they're doing that just now, but Coventry certainly look, they've picked up and they're sitting, they're 7 points clear. That would be some achievement, mate.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, not just this season. Obviously, we see what Frank done last year when he went in, and I think they were 17th or something in the league. And
brilliant.
The performances that Coventry have put out have been unbelievable. And what I liked about him is when they did have that little blip, and speaking to Frank, one of the things that he always says about the group is that he loves the group, and they got such great character and all stick together and carry on fight until the end. And I felt, because of when he'd said that to me, that even when they had the little blip, I felt that they was going to bounce back, because I think that they can beat teams by good attacking football, but I also think they're hard to break down, and they fight for each other, and would be an amazing achievement. And it looks like they are in pole position at the minute, but if he manages to get up winning the league, amazing achievement. Well deserved.
Mate. Absolutely,
100%.
couldn't agree more. Jody, brilliant to see you.
Top man, Jody.
Thanks for taking the time.
Good to see you guys.
Mate. Hopefully catch up soon, pal. Take care.
Yeah, take care, pal.
Jody Morris here, 4-time trophy winner with Chelsea. A reminder, you can listen to Chelsea's return live with PSG 8 p.m. tonight, live on talkSPORT 2. 5-2, as I said earlier, they are leading from the first leg, PSG. Arsenal versus Leverkusen is on talkSPORT. Coverage begins at 7 with Adrian Durham and the gang. Now up next is celebrity traitor star Alan Carr, more Scottish than me. Now I know there's a wee story going on here. Stay with us. we're going to find out just how good is this young teenage sensation, Max Dowman. In August, he became the Premier League's second youngest debutant behind Nwaneri, as he became the Premier League's youngest ever goal scorer, which is incredible. And the back page this morning, like John Terry, Alan Pardew, are already getting carried away and calling Dowman the English Messi. And I'm delighted to see joining us now as a resident Arsenal fan and Gabby's biggest wind-up merchant on the planet, Joel Bayer. Joel, good morning, mate.
Joel.
Good morning, Ellie and Gabby. How are you both?
Ah, mate, listen, we're absolutely buzzing, but you, I can see you're just rubbing your hands there, mate. That weekend, mate, that might be the weekend that clinched it. Am I going too far saying that?
You're not going too far. I don't think you're going far enough, Ellie, if you ask me, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, an amazing weekend. Can you imagine Max Dowman this morning in a couple of hours?
Oh, mate.
Wow.
Oh, mental. Daniel Sturridge did the little walk when he on the show, yeah. But
exactly
really,
what he should be doing.
That was 60,000 Arsenal fans on the weekend, honestly.
But it's been coming, hasn't it? He probably looked at it and thought, I wish I had more game time than I've had.
Yeah.
He's been injured a little bit, so you can't blame him there. But, you know, he's done exceptionally well. The good thing is he's actually got a nice imprint now for when we become champions. He can look back at the season and go, I contributed. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Innit, Gabby? It's amazing, innit,
Ali,
Gabby?
this guy is unbearable, mate.
Ali,
when Arsenal win the league, right, I've either got to work from home or I'm going on a world tour, mate.
I'll retire.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Right, YouTube, here we go. Listen to this. Only 52,000 homes. Here's the boys, 134,000. Come on. Listen to this, Adrian. Listen. We're going to do them. I tell you, we're going to beat them. Listen, Adrian.
Hey, listen.
Roger,
amazing.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. On the subject of totally unbiased commentary, there's Big Brazil. We're going to do them. Right? He's doing the commentary in the game, and he's just informing the listeners that we're going to do them. How's that for unbiased commentary?
Ali, that national anthem now, something special, man.
That's magic, isn't it?
Wow.
Different class.
Unbelievable.
Okay, while we're listening to the big man Brazil so elegantly singing the flower of Scotland, well, here's one for you, Gab. English-born comedian and winner of Celebrity Traitors, Alan Carr, is set to get his own tartan after accepting a Baron title with his new Scottish stately home, Ayton Castle. that can't be right. I mean, I love Alan Carr. I thought he was brilliant in that Traitors. But, I mean...
I think it deserved that, eh?
He's about as Scottish as Morris dancing, man. Do you know what I mean?
Come on, Ali.
He's about as Scottish as Jelly Deals. What's going on? I mean,
you're not happy with that, Coisty?
No, I'm not happy with that. I mean,
No.
I love him dearly. We watched the Celebrity Traitors and he was magic, but I'm not having it.
Yeah,
He's a bit Scottish as a pint of London pride, by the way. No danger.
Poor
of
Alan.
having-
Poor Alan.
All right. To be fair to him, he's invested in the Scottish community and he's bought a lovely little wee stately
Exactly.
home. So good luck, and I hope he enjoys it because they do love him up here, that's for sure. Now, Gabby, Englishman Matt Fitzpatrick just mounted the Players' Championship over the weekend to American Cameron Young out in Florida. Fitzpatrick was subject to some boos in what was a fairly rowdy American crowd. Reporter James Corrigan said, that the Ryder Cup is the reason for the increased rowdiness at golf events. To give us more, let's bring in the top man, for world number one, Mad Forest man, Ryder Cup legend, proving that class is permanent with a huge third place finish in Singapore last weekend. It's Lee Westwood. Westy, how are you, mate?
Morning, Lee.
Good morning, lads. How are we?
We're in top form. Listen, before we move on to Cameron Young and Matt Fitzpatrick, what about your own form? You must be delighted, mate.
Yeah, really pleased. Third last week. Doing it for the older lads.
Brilliant.
Against those young pups. I was going to ask you, how did Cheltenham go? Did you survive? Did you get out unscathed?
Mate? I come out at the best I can say is I come out at with a pulse, mate. The good news is I didn't make it, or I would have completely done my brains. I was over in Madrid. I was at Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, and I was at Real Madrid on the Wednesday. And Mackie and I, Stevie McManaman, we're watching the race. That we're having bets. I had a few each ways. Never had one first past the post, mate. How about you?
I backed a couple of winners, but the best one was one of mine running at Newcastle on Friday that won. So I backed Lossiemouth. I thought that was a good thing.
Lossiemouth was a good one on me. It was a good one. It was a brilliant festival. Gabby was there. The talkSPORT boys had it covered. As usual, it was brilliant. Fun. But as I say, it probably saved me a few quid actually been stuck in Madrid, so the Irish wouldn't be lost on you. Listen, mate, I was going to say to you, I mean, with Stephen Bunton on talking about the darts and the referees having to cool the fans down at the darts and all that stuff, This is disappointing, some of the reaction to Matt Fitzpatrick, and which is a brilliant tournament, obviously the Players' Championship. But is it that surprising, Westy? Is it really?
Not really. It's been going on in the Ryder Cup as long as I've been. I remember the crowd in Boston in '99 giving Monty all sorts of abuse, and Monty is way more Scottish than Alan Carr, giving Monty dogs abuse and, spitting at people, walking past and stuff like that. So it's been going on for years. I think it's just a shame nowadays we kind of live in a society where banter and abuse are so closely linked, right? Just oversteps the line sometimes.
Yeah. Lee, I've got a question for you, mate. You recently replaced your wife as your caddy with Billy Foster. How did you break that news to her, mate?
I wondered where you were going with that.
Wesley, so did I. Wesley, I've got. What's in my script, mate? I was panicking there.
I was panicking as well. What's going on? What's happened? I've only been away 5 weeks. and if she's listening, which I know she does, I'm really missing you, Dad. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Oh, fright of my life, right? Let's get back. Let's get things done. There's an interesting one, Lee, because obviously John Ram said he's refusing to pay his fines to the DP World Tour that would allow him to play in the Ryder Cup. I think the fine's around £2.5 million. I mean, is he just making a stance? I mean, it's one of these things.
Yeah.
They seem to be the parties seem to be getting together again. Then something like this comes up.
Yeah, I think he is making a stance as myself and Ian Poulter have as well. We've not paid our fines, and it's purely on principle because we thought they were unjust in the first place. So we both resigned our membership. Luckily, John's not been asked to resign his membership. So if he did pay the fines, he'll be able to play the Ryder Cup. I think the sticking point is the number of tournaments they're trying to get him to play. For everybody else it's 4, and they're trying to make it 6 for him. So you play the PGA Tour, which is not the European Tour, and it's 4, and you play the Live, and it's up to 6 for him, and 8 for some of the other guys. So I think he's doing the right thing. I'm right behind him. I fully agree with him. One thing I will say about the Ryder Cup, Ali, is it should be the best 12 golfers in Europe against the best 12 golfers in America, and it shouldn't be used as a bargaining chip to get people to join a tour.
It's without doubt, probably. I think for me, it must be my number one tournament to watch in any sport, mate. It really is. It's unbelievable. Over that period, I've been lucky and blessed to have been to a few, but it is absolutely compulsive viewing. And do you know what I love about it, Leah? I love the fact, for some reason, and I might be wrong, I look at particularly the European boys in a sport which can be so insular. Every Ryder Cup team from Europe that I've seen behaves like a team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's down to the European team backroom staff and the captains that we've had over the years that really have brought all the players together, because it's a strange and difficult situation when you're an individual and you get brought together every 2 years to play in a team environment. It's completely against your training, really. So yeah, that's one of the things that separates us, I think, a little bit from the United States team. And there's nothing like the European there's nothing like playing in Ryder Cups for Europe that stirs up the emotion and the passion in the players and makes you more nervous than any other tournament throughout your career, really. The nerves on the first tier of the Ryder Cup far outweigh anything I've experienced anywhere, majors or anything.
What about your nerves on Sunday? Because that's one hell of a game, isn't it, mate? Nottingham Forest must not lose.
Well, before you answer that question, you've sidestepped Thursday night. You've got a tough game in, was it Denmark, Midtjylland? You've got nothing down there. So,
yeah. We just can't score, can we?
No.
That's our problem. We've missed Chris Wood all season, taking the 20-goal man out of the team and not replaced him. So
it's amazing.
Do you know what? We're getting right to the front door, but we can't we keep huffing and puffing. We can't blow it down, can we? So I don't know. I mean, Morgan Gibbs-White, I think, is our leading goal scorer with 7, which is
at least Spurs are bottom of the home form league table, so I'm sure Forest can go there and use that against them.
Well, we beat them 3-0 at our place, and arguably they're worse at home than they are away, aren't they? Although they did get a good result against City last weekend, so I just hope that us playing in Europe doesn't tire the lads out and detract from our performance on Sunday.
Massive, you stay in that league, mate. Listen, continued success. Great result of the weekend. Keep it going, Lee. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, lads.
Take care, mate.
Cheers.
Lee Westwood there, former world #1, and still getting in great results. And he's flying the flag for boys our age, no doubt about it. Coming up, Martin Keown has had another bite back at Gabby. No way. Find out exactly what he said next.
Mr. Biased, Martin Keown.
What was more ridiculous? The Chelsea players' huddle or referee Paul Tierney making himself the main character of it? Chelsea have begun performing a pre-match huddle, but doing it in the centre circle of all places. It's drawn boos by opposition fans in recent weeks, with the start of games being somewhat slowed down. And Chelsea opted to do the same huddle before the Newcastle game on Saturday evening. But Paul Tierney, strangely, was right in the middle of it and didn't make any attempt to get out of it. So they had their huddle and Tierney, bizarrely, was part of it. After the game, Liam Renior said, "No, this was by no means disrespectful by my boys."
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball, and show unity and leadership. That is not my decision. That was a decision between the leadership group and the team. There is nothing that they're doing with that huddle that is disrespectful to the opposition. And do you know what's amazing? Before the game, it wasn't me. We had a meeting with the referee. My assistant goes in. The first thing he talks about is our huddle. And he says about when I complained about Arsenal being in our half. It wasn't the goalkeeper coach that was in our half, and people who were at that game at Arsenal know why I said what I said. We're not being disrespectful to the opposition. If Paul had focused more on his job, which was to make the right decision, we have a penalty today.
So Liam Rosenior chose that moment to have a swipe at Paul Tierney. Martin, have you ever seen anything like this? A huddle to respect the ball, which on Saturday evening included the referee in the middle of it.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Okay, it's 9:34. We're on the home straight, Gabby. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's rewards event. Get £500 off your next car this week only. Ally and Gabby with you and have been with you since 6 o'clock this morning. Thoroughly enjoying the show. Now, Arsenal are back in European action tonight live on talkSPORT as they look to get past Leverkusen after a 1-1 draw in Germany last week. The Gunners were saved thanks to an 89th minute penalty, which was rather soft to say the least. And you could say Martin, or Mr. Arsenal as we call him, claimed it was a clear penalty when working on the game. Simon Jordan, in typical Simon style, called Keown out for being the grand fromage of bias. Or the grand fromage, not the grand, I beg your pardon, the grand fromage. Did my test of my French there. Well, the pair were reunited in talkSPORT yesterday. Take a listen, guys.
The fact was, though, you were like all those fans, the detractors of Arsenal, who tuned in the 89th minute to say Arsenal are going to lose, it's going to blow up. And when that didn't happen, you were like the angry man shouting at the man on the television who was saying, no, it was a penalty, because it didn't go with your narrative.
The irony of that is it wasn't directed at Arsenal, it was directed at you. So my issue with Arsenal is that I've been championing Arsenal against all of the situation of the last 2 weeks where I've seen a narrative being seeded with idiot observers like Pardew turning around and saying there's an asterisk if Arsenal win the league. So you've got no substance to that.
What happened there? So what happened there? Would you having a little glass of wine or something?
No, I watched
aberration.
I normally have a large glass of wine if you're on.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But I I was listening to you, not the performance of Arsenal. I'm not the one that says Arsenal winning.
I was looking at the evidence.
I'm not the one looking at.
I was looking at third replay.
Brighton, you're asking me about me.
It was when is a 50-50 penalty, and people look. There's so many people out there who don't want Arsenal.
But I don't think it was 50.
You can't deny that. You can't deny that.
No,
you got into that group for a small period. Just for a small period.
No,
you got into that group. Arsenal haven't failed.
I got into the anti. I don't know.
They've managed to equalise.
I got into the anti-Keown group because I think sometimes you talk utter nonsense.
So Gabby is talking absolute.
Oh yeah, but that's a given.
Simon. Ali, Simon's the sort of guy, right? On air to say something, and when he sees you, he's like, fancy a game of paddle? We'll go for a splendid game in Battersea if you fancy it, Gabby. Joker.
Oh, dear me. Well, for my tuppence worth, I still don't think it was a penalty.
I don't think it was, mate.
I tell you what, though, I think you and I will be in agreement with. Leverkusen were impressive in the first leg, I've got to say.
Yes.
I think they did a good draw at the weekend with Bayern in the Bundesliga, so the Gunners will have it all to do tonight.
I fancy Arsenal, though, Ali.
So do I.
Bayern had 10 men, didn't they? Nicholas Jackson got sent off. I think Diaz might as well. So 9 men on the weekend. So that's why Leverkusen got something. But I just think Arsenal got too much, mate.
I think you're right, mate, because Arsenal at this moment in time are kind of on the crest of a wave. And you know what it's like when you're on that momentum, you're on that wave, it just keeps rolling over and rolling over. And particularly after the weekend, yes, it'll be a very tough game tonight, no doubt about it. But I just can't see him stopping them at this moment in time.
And Ali, they're not playing good football. They're not playing. They're not winning. Like on the weekend, the Everton game. I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, this is an even game." It wasn't entertaining, but they find a way. They find a way to win. You know, if that was Man City on the weekend, maybe it finishes 0-0. Yeah. But Arsenal seem it can be 85th minute, it can be the 90th minute. You know they're going to score. And that'll be the same tonight. They'll find a way, even if they don't play well.
I think you're right, and I'm with you. I'm not starting Max Dowman tonight either. No. There'll be a clamber for him to start, but I don't think Mikel Arteta will be knows better than MD just out to. But I mean,
careful, Ali. I can see talkSPORT quoting it. Ally McCoist says Max Dowman should not start tonight.
I know, they're a bit temperamental, these guys. Man, we're going to take a call on it because Barry is an Arsenal fan, and Barry has given us a call on 03717 223344. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning, Baz.
You must be absolutely flying at the moment, mate, with that team of yours.
Yeah, we are. And you're a legend, Ali and Gabby, yeah?
Nice to talk to you, mate. What do you think of the Max Dowman situation? We don't think he'll start tonight. We think he's an incredibly talented player who's going to have an unbelievable future.
Iconic.
But I'm not...
Exactly. No, you can't start him.
What do you think? Do you think he'll go strong tonight? He will. Well, no matter what he goes, he'll go strong because you've got the best squad on the planet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, has to go strong. I rang up for the Max Dowman iconic goal.
Yes.
Of course it isn't iconic at the minute, but if Rooney didn't go on and have his career, would Rooney's first goal be iconic?
I think it was the sort of goal it was as well, though. Yeah. Look at Rooney's goal against the top Arsenal side. Come on, no problem.
Would you remember it, though, Gabby? Would it be remembered if Dowman goes on and has a career similar to Rooney?
Oh, yeah. I agree on that, yeah.
Iconic.
I agree on that. If Rooney didn't go on to be... Yeah.
It's a iconic goal, possibly.
If he goes on to the same career Rooney have, you'll always remember it. Yeah, that's a valid point. But, I mean, and if you're talking about iconic, really iconic, I don't think Rooney's goal, right, as good as it was as a 16-year-old, I don't have it in the same category, for example.
As Aguero.
And things like that. Aguero's in a league of itself, surely, is it not?
No, it is. No, I totally agree with that. It's just that you mentioned the Rooney goal being iconic, and that is just my point. It's only iconic.
It's a fair point, mate.
I think he's on. Barry, what about tonight? Are you fancying Arsenal tonight? We do. You know, weekends
I think we do.
I'm going to say, what about the weekend, mate?
Leverkusen over the first game, they were quite tough on us. They were put it in there, long ball. I don't think it's going to work so much at the Emirates. So I'm hoping.
Do you think it's like win at all costs tonight, even if it's a corner, a set piece?
Well, I don't care about set piece goals.
No, I'm just asking.
Nor should you, mate. It's been, the weekend couldn't have gone any better for you, really. I mean, I'm sitting watching. I was doing West Ham, Manchester City, and just before we went up to do our work, I'm obviously watching the Arsenal game, Barry, and I can't lie to you. I turned to my man next to me, Fletch, and I said, Arsenal will score here. I just fancied Arsenal to score. And not only the importance of their goal, the effect it has in Manchester City as well, mate.
Exactly, yeah. I think if we don't get that goal, City go in there and they beat West Ham. So it was so important. And like you said, Gokrez's goal was way more important than Max Dellman's.
Absolutely. Listen, thanks for the call, mate. Enjoy your football tonight. Now, talkSPORT Breakfast, never far away from the headlines, and this week is no different. Yesterday morning, we're joined by Max Dowman's former academy coach, Arsenal, Temison Williams. On the show, he was full of praise for the youngsters' rise through the ranks, but since he came on, Max's dad has taken to social media platform X to take issue with Temison's credibility. If you're watching us on YouTube or Smart TV, you'll be able to see the tweets Rob Dowman said, claiming he was any part of Max's journey is really a sad piece of attempted self-promotion. I have asked him previously to refrain from doing so. I remember him putting the cones out at training a few times, but that's about it. Quite an important job, that, Gab, by the way. Don't worry about that. Yep. We have so many fabulous coaches who we're so grateful to. He's certainly not one of them. Temison has claimed that he has since apologised to the Dowman family and wishes them nothing but success. Kind of mounting out a molehill, really. Yeah, Gab?
Yeah, listen, I do get the dad speaking about that. Maybe you might have told him before, like, stop. There were other coaches that done a lot more than you, but he didn't come on, Ally, and like I said earlier, say, it's Max Dowman. When I had him, I was assistant coach, and I made him do this, and I turned him into a player that liked to dribble with the ball. He didn't say any of that. It was just really nice about how Max Dowman has developed. So
There's an interesting one yesterday, wasn't it? Was it Joe Bear was in with yesterday, right? And I understand the euphoria around Arsenal. I get it, and they're having, and will continue to have, I think, a brilliant season. But, I mean, talk of the boy for the World Cup squad and all that. Come on, guys.
Do you know what, though, Ally? Like, I don't think he should go, of course not. But sometimes when there's a tournament, the excitement of a 16-year-old being there. Do you know, like that? If you look at that reason, when you can take so many players now as well, he might be 25 or 28, whatever it is you can take. I don't think he takes him, Thomas Tuchel. No chance. If at best, he's going to be in the under-21s if they've got games in the summer.
Here's one for you. Would you take? I remember one of the I'm sure it was one of the Scottish managers did it at a major tournament. He took half a dozen never had them in the squad, but he took half a dozen boys just to help around the training, go into meetings and things like that, and and get the experience of it. Would you think something like that would be a good idea, Gab?
Oh, you're not involved in the squad, but you're coming there just to
learn.
Yeah, I get it, to learn. Would the players, would their managers at their clubs appreciate that?
Yeah, I don't know.
They'd probably want them to go and rest in the summer, maybe, because there's so many players that are going to go to squads, Ally, and not be involved because there's that many subs available.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I get it. It's an interesting one. I think one of the Scottish boys did it. Managers did it. We took about half a dozen of the youngsters, and they enjoyed it.
Of course, exciting.
Yeah, because it's an experience from. Anyway, I think we're both in agreement. Fantastic player, wonderful talent. We're going to look forward to watching his career, but everybody just calm down.
Everything positive about him, Arsenal fans.
Absolutely.
All right, don't worry.
Now, don't forget, you can hear live commentary right here on talkSPORT of tonight's massive Champions League knockout game at the Emirates, which I'm looking forward to very much, between Arsenal and Leverkusen. Adrian Durham and the gang start the build-up at 7 o'clock. Kick-off, as you will know, is at 8 p.m. Right, listen up, F1 fans. Hold on, Gab, I need to take a big breath for this and strap myself in.
Good luck, mate.
Wish me luck. When's the base coming in, Ed? Listen up, F1 fans, we're down to the final week. We want to send you and a mate to Silverstone on July the 5th for a British Grand Prix experience like no other. Forget general admission. We're putting you right into the heart of it with the full racing green trackside experience. Experience the F1 in the best way possible. You're getting exclusive grandstand seats plus inner track access to watch the drivers roll into the paddock. And we've got the whole day sorted with all-day street food, a fully open bar and more. Ends Friday at 4 p.m. Guys, here's how you enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. Of course, naturally, that is when you have to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So, once again, for your chance to win, text win to 83338 now.
Where does Bruno rank in Manchester United's all-time great midfielders? I'm just going to start by saying I think he's the best player in the Premier League right now. I don't think anyone is performing to the levels that he is. I can't think of anyone at Arsenal that's doing that. I can't think of anyone at Manchester City that's doing it week in, week out, consistently at the highest level. And he's doing it in the position that he's supposed to be playing in. Completely different where Ruben Amorim played him, and makes that decision even more crazy when you think of what he's doing right now. So fair play to Michael Carrick. And also, does he get into an all-time Manchester United Premier League 11? Because we were thinking maybe Ryan Giggs on the left, Cristiano Ronaldo or David Beckham on the right, Rooney up top. Are you putting Bruno Fernandes in the 10 with maybe Keane and Scholes in midfield? That might be another one. 81089, get in touch. But Manchester United obviously go clear in third with that result. It's 7 wins in 9 under Michael Carrick. And fans are begging Casemiro to stay as well, I suppose, as Michael Carrick, after he scored again. While Wayne Rooney says Carrick should be given the job full time, Carrick's enjoying himself.
I'm in this position at the moment, doing the best I can, and loving it, obviously, and keep pushing for more. You know, we want to make the team as good as we can. We want to keep improving everything, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But in terms of conversations, we get on great.
Yeah, I obviously he's doing an incredible job. Like I said, 7 wins out of 9, and I would be surprised if they didn't give him the job in the summer, given how it's gone. I think they should get Champions League, but obviously playing one game every 2 weeks, you probably should get Champions League. But it depends if big managers come available in the summer.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
There's a tune. There,
I can't even guess who sings this.
Oh, you nuts. I mean,
80s, Al?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean,
Who?
it's I'm hoping I get this right now. It's Aretha Franklin and, what do you call him? Your man?
George Michael.
George Michael.
Wow,
Yeah.
where have I got after him? What a guess that was.
Yeah, probably Ed. I would imagine you maybe...
Promise you, Ed didn't tell me.
Oh, it's a great guess,
Yes.
mate. Because you're spot on. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, and it has been talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby all morning. We've done an absolute ball, and now you tune in there to the dulcet tones of George Michael and Aretha Franklin even, with I Knew You Were Waiting. Why are we playing it? Well, Gabby, I have to apologise. I didn't make it down for our appointment at dinner last night, and I can only apologise.
I know
mate.
why. Because I mentioned that film that you was in and the kissing scene and so many messages, you thought, you know what, I'm going to stand you up, Agbonlahor.
By the way, never mind all those messages. What about, I'm getting it for people that I thought were allies of mine. I mean, Simon Clare, for example, Steve-O, right? Even, no, the icing on the cake was Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones was getting me laughing. Very funny,
Some
mate.
great acting though, Ali.
That was good
On a
fun.
serious note, did you enjoy filming it? I bet it was good fun.
Gabby, it was brilliant,
I bet, mate.
Honestly, he was and is a superstar,
Yes,
Robert
of
Duvall.
course.
And we did it. A lot of the guys that filmed were pros, obviously played by Airdrie and Wraith Rovers and teams like that up in Scotland. Brilliant group of boys. I mean, and we had such a giggle. You can imagine the
Had you
crack.
retired, Ali? Just retired when you filmed it, or
I think I was just about still playing at Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was just about still playing. But you ask Kilmarnock fans that, they would have said no, he'd retired, to be brutally honest. Right, we're going to finish with this, mate. Manchester United legend Nicky Butt has recently come out saying the club must give Bruno Fernandes anything he wants, is the quote, in order to keep him there amid continued links to Saudi Arabia. Fernandes, for me, Gabby, has been absolutely tremendous. He's now just 4 assists off the Premier League record and continues to prove just how important he is to that Manchester United side. He has, mate, you can say what you like, and myself and a few others, I wasn't necessarily happy with him with some of the throwing the hands up and all that stuff. You know, it's probably maybe a more European thing or a foreign thing that they do. And there was things like that you know, would probably annoy me a little bit if I was a teammate of his. However, by far and away, the most important thing is his ability on the pitch and how he's handled it. And I think he's been, if not the one constant in Manchester United,
100%.
You know, he's been tremendous, mate, hasn't he?
And I'm scared to think where Manchester United would have been over the last 5 years, and especially this season, without Bruno Fernandes. 27 Premier League appearances, Ali, 7 goals, 16 assists.
Wow.
No matter how bad they've been, he's turned up. But I said this in a previous show, Ali, a few months ago. He's 32 in September.
Yep.
He's won 1 FA Cup, 1 League Cup for Manchester United.
Yep.
Could he leave Manchester United one day and look back and say, did I waste my best years at Manchester United? Not because you look at someone like De Bruyne, won it all at Manchester City. Bruno Fernandes, he's that good, deserved to leave the Premier League, winning the Premier League, and also Champions League. For me, he's that good, Ali.
I take your point. Now, if you're but I also agree with Nicky Butt here. If you're Manchester United, Gab, I mean,
whatever you want,
you can't let him go, mate.
Whatever you
absolutely can. Particularly when things look as though, and I keep mentioning it, but I think it's worth mentioning, the 1 game a week is massive for them. But out the cups and being able to concentrate in the league is massive for them. However, if they want to continue on the road that they're on, and it's, you know, it's been a dramatic change, the signings, for me, the recruitment of the recent signings have made a big difference, because they look, I keep saying it, they look as though they belong there. Sesko scoring goals, but particularly Cunha and Buemo, they're now heading in the right direction.
But Ali, he's that important. Look at Cunha's goal on the weekend.
What a pass, man.
It was that much of an unexpected pass first time that only the Konsa not even follow Cunha running behind. I don't think anyone watching thought that Bruno Fernandes was going to play it. He's got that sort of pass. That's a Kevin De Bruyne pass, that is. That's a David Silva sort of pass. These elite players, Ali. And to have him out the team, imagine Manchester United would be a total different team. They'd probably draw on the weekend without Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the vision...
Incredible.
I think you're spot on. I think normal defensively, you're setting up against that, you think, oh, I'll maybe cover that wee angle there.
Yeah.
I just think the pass is that sharp and that quick, the defenders don't know anything about it.
He's got the right amount of pace on the pass, Ali.
See, the one thing, Gab, you'll know, right? See, the one thing about playing with somebody like, you mentioned De Bruyne and certainly Fernandes. See if you're a forward, right? See if you make a run. Now, they might not necessarily give you it all the time, but I tell you right now, they'll see it. Do you know what I mean?
Just make a run.
Aye, they'll see the run all the time.
Cunha's just thought, I'm going to make the run, because I know it's going to that player and he can find me. If you're a striker, Ali, and especially if you're quick in behind, any team that leaves space, no matter where you are, make the run.
Yeah.
And we've seen it now, Ali. Even yesterday, with the Brentford goal for Thiago.
Yeah.
Kelleher. The Wolves defence are probably thinking, it's okay with the keeper. You know, he's not going to make that ball. Perfectly timed long ball over the top for Katara, and then squares it for Thiago. Incredible.
Simplest of goals to tap in. Exactly. What are you thinking tonight? Quick one, mate. Predictions for tonight. Chelsea. I think they might win, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking Chelsea win 2-1 tonight, go out. I think Manchester City draw 2-2 tonight, and they go out. I think Arsenal win 3-0 and go through.
I think you're probably right. I'm not sure about the exact results, but I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think City might win, although I would be concerned. You make a good point if Mbappe plays on the counter-attack.
Valverde to score, that's a bet for you, Ali.
Oh, he's been different. He scored again at the weekend, you know that? He scored against Chelsea.
Top corner, great goal. Yeah.
He is different class. Listen, mate, what are your plans? Your plans for later on today?
I'm going home. I'm going to play some paddle.
Lovely.
Yeah, see the kids and watch the football tonight, Ali. What about you, mate?
I'm down
tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm down today. I'm Arsenal today. Looking forward to that. And then I'm in with Party Parlour tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, make sure you say nice things about Max Dowman if you approach tonight.
Always will, mate. Always do. Don't you worry about that. You take care. Thanks for the day, pal. We hope you've enjoyed it out there as much as Gabby and have this morning. The good news for Gabby is I'm down tomorrow morning, but sadly, it's not alongside Gabby. Ray Party Parlour will be with me tomorrow from 6 a.m. Stay tuned, guys, because coming up next, we've got Jim and Simon. Thanks for listening.